Tasty, tasty. Hey guys, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. I hope you're having a really great Sunday. I'm hoping the cameras are going to behave today. Fingers crossed. They've been fine all week. I left this camera on for over 30 hours and it had no issues. So if there is an issue now, it's a software one rather than the actual camera issue. Cordas was here first, then Anarchy as well, saying evening Jay, hope you had a good weekend. Did I get time to test the calculator? Yeah. So if you mean the Nixie Tube calculator that I got last week, no is the short answer. I haven't had a chance to test it as yet, but I do really want to. As well as that, we've also got Lex64. Hey man, good to see you. A JQ as well. Dang Dynasty, thank you so much for the 9 months of subs saying hello Jay. I really appreciate that, more than I can tell you. I just realised that my face cam is probably a little bit dark. Let's see if we can brighten that up just a touch. Let's see what we can do. Okay, there we go. That's a little bit more realistic. There we go. Jae Builds, hey man, thank you so much for being here. Laligator says good evening sir. I hope you're doing well. I can't believe it's been 9 months since you started streaming. Dude, I've been streaming for like 4 years in keyboards, but streaming as prototypist, yeah, it's 9 months. Well, it was even longer because it must be 10 months because it took about a month to get the ability to have subs. So yeah, it's probably closer to 10 months. Golden Ratio, hey man. Emberko, hey man, good to see you. I'm going to apologise as well, guys, because I am full of cold, and I've just realised the 3D printer's just finished as well. The 3D printer has literally just finished as well. Like, it's just stopped a second ago. There you go. Like, it's literally just finished. Incredible. Thank you so much for Cryon King for the follow. Was it just me, or did they sound a bit quiet? Was the notification there, the incredible, was that audible? Can you guys hear that, or have I made it too quiet? I don't know. Let me know, guys. But yeah, it's going to be a fun stream today. Today we're going to be unboxing and building a Matrix ME for a customer, and then we're also going to be unboxing 2 more Matrix MEs, which are my personal ones for my collection, which is pretty exciting. Yeah, so I'm really excited to share that with you guys. We have got Vestacam back as well. So we do have Vestacam. So if the Vesta board goes off, I can share with you what's tweeted at the Vesta board. So if you guys want to tweet me, your message can display on there. Please keep it clean. Whatever you send and tag me with on Twitter at jprototypist will display on the Vesta board out in the workshop. It's literally just on the wall opposite me on the other side out in the workshop. And whatever you do, it will display on there. So I now have a Vestacam in the workshop temporarily. It's basically an iPad set up on its side and then wirelessly connected to my PC, which seems to be working at the moment, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, we now have the Vestacam back. Instead of it just being for workshop streams, we've now brought it back for full streams. Now the issue is I can't hear it here, so you'll have to let me know if you tweeted at it, and I will try and pull it up on screen. So we'll go. Or I'll just check it periodically and see if anyone's tweeted it or something. But yeah, so it'll also update if we get a sale on the website and a few other bits and pieces as well, which is pretty cool. Which colour did I get for the Matrix MEs? I got 2 personal ones, and I will show you both colourways. I can't remember exactly which colourways I ordered, but I do have 2 of them. And then I also have a customer's one here as well, which I'll show you. So we have 3 colourways. I think they're all different, if I go from memory. So I'll share with that later on. It is an IP camera on the iPad. Yeah, it's called Epoch Cam, EPOC-CAM, and it seems to work okay. I'm testing it out today for the first time, but I kind of wanted to be able to do a workshop tour at some point soon, so that's what I'm going to use it for. We're going to do a whole workshop tour as soon as the mezzanine goes in. We'll do a full workshop tour, and I'll be able to show you guys around the whole place, which will be pretty cool and pretty exciting, and I'm kind of looking forward to being able to do that. Demotex is here. Hey man, good to see you. Looks like a gorgeous red anno on that board. Yeah, the board we've got on the desk at the minute, this is my Duck TKL. I need to reprogram it to take off the LEDs, but we did stream the build of this a little while ago, so you can probably take a look on stream and have a look at it. But it's one of my favorite TKLs. It's really steep, so I struggle to type accurately, but it is a good fun keyboard to use. And Eos, thank you very much for being here, man. I know you've sent me like 10 DMs. I will get to them tomorrow morning, I promise. So yeah, we'll do that. UK Pete says, hello, playing D&D again, so I'll catch up later. Have a good stream. Thank you, man, for being here. I appreciate that. And hopefully I'll see you again at some time soon. Please Pet Dog says hello. That's such a good username. That's such a good username. I do miss streaming from home, because when I used to stream from home, I used to be able to share Gigi with you, the workshop dog. She used to be able to come on stream, but she doesn't come up to the workshop with me on weekends. Incredible. Thank you so much, Future at 808. Thank you very much for the follow, man. Please do let me know how those notification sounds are, if you could hear the Incredible or not, because I think they might be a little bit too quiet, and I can make them a little bit louder. Let me know. You sent 100 this time though. Oh no. Oh no. Huey, my favourite Welsh person. How do you do, man? How you doing? Japani Trent, hey man, good to see you. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate you being here. Yeah, I will get them to you tomorrow. It will. In fact, I think we're catching up tomorrow, right? We might in NAS. We might have to put back our meeting time in the morning, because we have at home coming in the morning. We're having new floors installed all downstairs, and they're coming at 9:30 UK time. So I'm not going to be at the workshop until 10ish. So yeah. Yeah, so I'll message you after stream, Eos, and let you know if we need to change the time a little bit, but I know we're catching up tomorrow. The Kiwi says, I love this desk mat. It's in stock. Martian View desk mat in stock on prototypist.net. The link's below. You can go and you can buy this desk mat online right now. It's in stock. The Martian View. There's a couple of color variants. You can have a whiteout view, blackout view, starry view, and this one, which is the Martian View. Go check it out. There you go, in stock. Omar's on it with the in stock comment. There you go. Yeah, shipping is what it is. Like, shipping just costs what it costs. There's not much I can do about it, sadly. We ship all desk mats by DHL, but they go in a box that's 45 centimeters by, I think it's by 8 by 8, and they weigh just over 1 kilogram, so it doesn't fall into the Royal Mail small parcel size. It has to go a medium parcel. That means it's like £8 or £9 to ship it via Royal Mail, and if I'm going to ship it via Royal Mail, I have to drive to Leeds, because they refuse to collect anything above a small parcel size here from the workshop. So I'd have to drive all the way to Leeds. We don't really want to do that, because it's 45 minutes each way to the service station, especially busy times it can be more. So we use DHL because they collect. It is a couple of pence more expensive, but it's a really good service, so that's why. Martian View, you thought it was Earth in 2023? Maybe. I hope it's not. Hugo, hey man, good to see you. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you, Eneas. Yes, I will let you know first thing after the stream. I'll just double check. I'd completely forgot. As I say, we're getting all new floors installed at home, so the guys are coming to measure up and give final quotes tomorrow, and I'd completely forgotten about it. So yeah, that makes sense. Thanks, man. Yeah, if I could do cheaper shipping, I would. Like, if I could guarantee cheaper shipping, it'd be the first thing I'd do. But the things with shipping is it needs to be reliable, it needs to be cost effective, and it needs to be easy to use for both the customer and the business. Royal Mail isn't that, because they will only collect large letters, small letters, large letters, letters, small letters, large letters, and small parcels from the workshop. They won't collect anything larger, and sometimes they won't even collect all those. We have to go drop them off. But anything larger than that goes as a small parcel or a large parcel, I have to drive all the way over to the service centre in Leeds to drop off, and it would just add more cost and more time that we'd have to factor in for the pricing, which sucks, but it is what it is. There better be a picture of the pretty new floors on Instagram. Yeah, well, it'll be a couple of months away, so they're going to measure up tomorrow, they're going to price up tomorrow, and then I think it said it would be 5 or 6 weeks before we could get it installed. So I think it's going to be a couple of months away, but yeah. Cheeky question. Any chance there's any more desk mats going in stock tomorrow? No, so no more desk mats going in stock tomorrow, mainly because we have this week is really busy and we're having the new mezzanine floor installed. So if you've seen the workshop on Instagram, you'll see that we've got everything on one floor, but we've got a lot of vertical space we could use. And we're having a mezzanine installed that'll allow us to use a little bit more of that vertical space. That should arrive on Wednesday, but that does mean that we're incredibly busy this week just trying to arrange everything ready for that mezzanine floor to come and be installed, because it's fully solid steel structure. It's designed to hold up to 22 tons on top of the floor and all these other things, so it's basically engineering another level in a building. And because of that, we're really struggling for time. Now, we do have a full list of extras of stuff that we are going to stock, but it's not going to come until at the very earliest week on Monday. And I think we're going to have Shoko extras, we're going to have loads of other desk mats in stock. There's going to be the Access desk mats, there's going to be the Cat 4 desk mats in stock. There's going to be quite a few other bits and pieces, the Deliciosa Lunar Landing, K Barbecue mats. There's going to be 5 in stock key sets, I think. Nice PBT, Canon Keys PBT, as I say, GMK Shoko, and a few other bits as well. So it is coming. There is going to be lots of stuff in stock, and we are moving to more of an in-stock position over the course of this year, but it's not going to be this week. It's probably going to be the end of next week. But that being said, I'm very, very tempted to save Mel having to lift all the stock from the ground floor onto the new first floor. I'm very tempted to do like a 20% off sale for desk mats and switches on maybe Thursday or Friday this week. Just like have a happy hour and say, if you order within this hour, it's 20% off for just desk mats and switches. I think that's what I think I might do. No promises, but maybe. Fluffy Keebs, hey man, good to see you. GMK Shoko will be in stock. Yeah, GMK Shoko will be in stock very soon. So we'll have the base kit, the obscure kit, the hiragana set, and the space bars all in stock very soon. I think it will be a week on Monday. If I can, I'll do it a week. I'll do it on Friday coming. But incredible. Thank you so much, Full Stack. I think it'll be a week on Monday, week tomorrow. But I'll try and bring that forward to Friday before the weekend if I can. So yeah, free shipping World War 2. No, I wish I could. I wish I could do that. I wish I could do free shipping for everyone, but I can't. Shipping's expensive, man. DHL charged me a fortune. Hello from me, my friend V. Hey Omar. Hey guys, nice to see you. Zinette says, hi Jay, I just came in at happy hour. What are we drinking? We're drinking coffee right now, but I'm thinking we might do a happy hour sale towards the back end of next week. Maybe Thursday we'll do 20% off any in-stock desk mats and switches for like an hour, maybe 2 hours. I don't know. Let me know what you think, guys. If you think that's a good idea, tell me in chat. And let me know. If you think happy hour is a good idea, let me know. 20% off for a couple of hours, something like that. I don't know. Time to start a new company, parcel typist. Well, I've just ordered prototypes of something that I might come up with a special name for. Maybe prototimist? Prototypes? We'll see. Is that the O3 proto on the desk? No. No, Huey. This is a Duck TKL. Here you go. This is Duck. Duck Orion. That's the word I couldn't think of. Thank you, Ben Dude, for the follow. I appreciate that, man. Yay for happy hour, nay for wallet. I'm losing track of chat here. Any chance for JO1 cases to be back in stock one day? I love mine and would like to buy more. Like, do you mean the carry cases? Yeah, if you mean like the hard black carry cases, 100% they're coming back. I think we have a few thousand on order. Yeah. Show me. RDXXN, what would you like to see? The show me command means I will show you something. You tell me what you want to see and I will show you. I do have a Nixie Tube clock in EOS. Yeah, it's at home though. I built it on stream a couple of years ago on Top Clack. You could probably catch up with the build of that. Yeah, the carry bags. Yeah, so we will have the carry cases in the hard black carry cases with the green zippers. Yeah, we'll have those in stock at some point soon. Red Orion is nice. Do you know? I got this off of Tom Huey, and I built the board a couple of months ago and I'd not used it, and I put it on the desk because we had Sharon in today who does a lot of the bookwork. She was working here today, and she didn't want a TKL with like Yugoslavian characters on or anything like that. She needed a TKL that worked really well and had UK ISO and everything else. And this was the only one I had built to that kind of spec to hand. And do you know what? I actually really enjoy using it. Like, really enjoy using it. So yeah. What's the espresso machine in the office? The espresso machine in the office is a Sage Oracle Touch, and it's literally just through this wall behind me. It's on the kitchen workspace in the workshop. And I just remind me tomorrow, and I will tell you where to look for Nixie Tube clocks. Yeah, I have 3 Nixie Tube clocks, only one built. If you go search on Top Clock Nixie Tube, you'll see my build stream for it. It's quite intense, but it's good fun. That's great news. You like the carry bags? Nice. RDXXN. Could you bring out the Hyper 7? I can try. Like the Hyper 7. I'm looking at it right now. The Hyper 7 is just up on top of my. What's the easiest way to show you guys this? Hold on. I'm going to show you guys. Right. Let's flip over to this camera. I'm going to use this camera to show you guys where the Hyper 7 is. So let's see if I can. So this is the office. If I lift these cables out of the way, this is the office, and the Hyper 7 is just there. Can you see it? It is just that board there, but it's underneath this stack of vintage keyboards, but you can see the blue keycaps, and these 2 boxes just up here, that's 2 more Hyper 7s in there as well. So that is the Hyper 7, but I can't really get it out and show you because I have to get a little ladder to get up on the get up on there and show you. And that cabinet there has a lot of my personal keyboards in, and this is the rest of the office. There you go. More keyboards up there. This is where I store my keycaps. That's my keycap sets. They're like 3 or 4 deep. So yeah. There you go. Right. There we go. That's the little office tour. Right, there you go. So I hope that did you RDXXN. Like I would love to show you the Hyper 7, but it is like trapped under like 4 or 5 other keyboards, and it's right on top of a unit as well, so it's not easy to get to. Exciting to see my key built by someone far better than me. Got alert because I have a tournament to play. No worries, man. I just be in the background, and I'm not better than you. Like, I'm sure you're better than me. I'm not anything special, but I like to build keyboards. Let's catch up with chat, see where we're at too. Nice and cozy. Yeah, like the office is 500 square feet is the office. It looks smaller when the camera's, because the camera's quite zoomed in, so you're losing a lot of depth perception. So the camera from the desk here to the actual camera is nearly 2 meters. Like it's a full arm's length reach up above my head, just off the ceiling. So it's probably like 1.8 meters from the desk. So there is quite a depth of perception that you lose. But yeah, it's a nice office space. Unusual. Hey man, good to see you. Did you see if there were any more boards under the cupboard from when I took them in there? No, I forgot about that. I will check though. I'll check straight after the stream. Yeah. I ended up buying plastic boxes like you for keycaps. It works really well. It does. Yeah, it does. One King Alero says, Jay, I got the Bobby U4T and I'm in love with them. Not in a build yet, but was thinking of lubing the housing with 205 grade 0 and the legs with Tripsys 3203. I don't like mixing lubes in a switch. If I'm going to lube a switch, I like to use the same lube throughout. But I don't think that sounds bad. I think you just have to be very, very, very light on both of those lubes. But try it out. Let me know how it works. I'd be interested to see. Just let me know how it goes. Okay. Right. I guess it's time to show you guys the build that we're doing today, right? So this is for a customer. This is for Fox Clam, who was in chat a few minutes ago, and his board is what we're going to build today. But before I show you his board, I'm going to show you 2 of my boards. So I did buy 2 Matrix Emmys personally. This one is Fox Clam's board that we're going to open very, very shortly. But I'll show you guys mine first. Now, I bought 2 of these. Why is it you don't like mixing lubes? I just feel like, I don't know, I have some silly things in my head that makes it probably sound a bit purist, and it's not really. Like, I don't like using foams in keyboards unless I really have to. I feel like if I've had to use foam, I've probably failed in the build. And that's not necessarily a healthy mindset or the right mindset, but I feel the same with lubes. If I have to mix and match lubes, I feel like I'm not doing so well. I just prefer to use the same lube across everything. any brown ME available. Do you know what? I don't know what colours I personally bought. I can't remember. So I did post it in MK UK a few weeks ago, but I've forgotten since I posted it. And they've both turned up now, so I figured I'd show you guys. And we'll see what colours I did get. I'm interested in building my own custom keyboard, but all looks a bit overwhelming. Do you have any recommendations for a newbie source? Just watch build streams. It's not difficult, but it does take some skills to learn. So yeah, so let's show you the box first before I open this. So this is the Matrix ME box, nice and blank and black. Hello, it's me, Matrix ME, powered by Matrix Lab. QR code, it takes you to the build guide as well. Matrix Lab on the base. The rest of the box is blank. And of course it does have the holographic sticker on the front. That's in a different place on each of the 3 boxes, I think. So I think they just get put on randomly. Okay. Well, we should have... I think we've got 3 different colours. I think. Please don't shoot me if we don't. This was the first one I received. So I got this one a couple of weeks ago. In fact, I got this one just before Christmas. I'm assuming it's going to go this way around because of the text. And then in here, this has things like our PCB and plate and everything else. Oh, here we got a couple of pretty cool badges. So I do have about 30 of these badges now. These are pretty cool. And this one as well. This is a brass badge. That's really chunky, is that badge. Like, there's a huge weight difference in the two. That one must be made of brass. And then, of course, these little bits here you'll see later on as we get into the build stream. But this is basically the mounting method. These are used for the mounting. So you put one of these to hold in 2 gasketed areas on the plate. And you'll see how that works as we get into the build. Hey, Elise, hope you're doing well. The 3 are all personal, private builds. So 2 of these I own. This one is mine, and the next one you're going to see is mine. The 3rd one that we're going to build today is a customer's board. I recommend hot swap for newcomers. You can use it as a test board and it's great. Yep. I don't disagree with that. But I do think I'd like my personal builds to be soldered. Got some feet. These are pretty cool actually, because these actually have the Matrix Labs logo on them now. So they actually have the Matrix Labs logo embossed into them. Okay, take out the foam. And this is my first one. So as you can see, this is a green keyboard. See if we can get it out of here. Oh. I'm very excited, JQ, for the next Matrix board. I have a lot of Matrix keyboards. I am going to do a personal Matrix build stream where we're going to do like 12 hours minimum of Matrix builds, and they'll all be my keyboards. So I'm very excited for the XV 3.0. So here we go. So this is my green Matrix. There you go, you see. It does have the powered by Matrix Labs here. I do own a Vita, yeah. I have 2 Vitas. I have a McFlurry Vita and I have a pistachio green Vita. So it's not quite the same green as this. In fact, the green in this camera is probably closer to more accurate than this one. The light's washing it out on this camera a little bit, but if you look in the face cam, that's probably closer to the real green. Hold on, let me show you. So this is probably closer to the actual color of the green. So there we go. Why do I like them? I like the design affectations. So Matrix do some stuff that no one else does. They have loads of little different affectations like the USB ports. Usually they have multiple parts. So some of the boards have like 10 or 12 just little accent pieces. And I just find it really fun and cool. And they just do something different. They just don't look like other keyboards. The Matrix ME is pretty plain comparatively compared to some of their other ones. But yeah, this is my my green Matrix ME. Never pulled the trigger, may do on the next one. Yeah, you should consider it. Oh, I hope the little one gets to sleep, Elise. I have a friend who's recently had a child and he's struggling with his sleep now. yeah, and just in here, we'll just show you in this little box as well. We do have, this has got the JST cables, the plates, and the PCB as well. So there you go. We've got the polycarbonate plate, and then the PCB in there. So there we go. JST and daughterboard cables. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. First time I've come across the Matrix board, and I love the design language on the bottom. Keeping my fingers crossed, you'll be handling some of the group buy on 3.0. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. The green's really cool. She's 2 months now. Oh, congratulations. Congratulations. My brother's actually just told me at Christmas him and his wife are expecting as well, so it does make me feel a little bit left out because I don't have children, but I feel like I'd make a terrible dad, so. The finish looks great, Jay. What are your first impressions? It looks fantastic. I'm really excited by it. I like green. I don't know what keycap set I'm going to put with it. I think it's going to have to be a white keycap set. It's probably a bit too green for botanical. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. I think it's great. I know it leads to know how to solder so I can get fancier isopods. Soldering is a skill that anyone can learn. Like, if I can solder, you can solder. Like, there is genuinely no real skill to it. It just takes time and practice. I love all the accent details they do. Do you run the group buys for Matrix keyboards, Jay? Not yet, but maybe. We shall see. No comment. No comment. Nuclear data, yeah, it's probably a bit. I think nuclear data green is probably a bit too. It's too robust of a green to go with that. That kind of has almost like a slight pastel. It's like just a shade below full green. It's into a pastel green, but it's not pastel enough that botanical would work with it. So we'll see. We'll see. Your keyboards are your children, and your fair lady, and your trucks. Yeah, my cards are my children. Yeah, there's a reason Crash put me in the poster with my Datsun, because yeah, he knows how I feel about my cards. British Racing. No, it's not as dark as British Racing Green. It's kind of like a the closest green I have to say what it is. If you have Infinity Pastel, the green that should have been pastel in that but wasn't, that's the green that the board is. So there you go. Why do people solder over hot swap? I just prefer solder. I think it feels nicer. I feel more accomplished when I build a soldered keyboard. I think it improves sound as well. I don't like the sound profile that the little hot swap connectors add to the bottom of a PCB, and I don't like the fact that they're not robust enough for people to never need to be able to solder. So if you don't ever want to learn how to solder, those sockets will eventually fail. They don't last forever, and you may need to replace them or reflow them. So I personally, as someone who's built hundreds of keyboards, prefer to solder a keyboard than to use a hot swap. But I do have hot swap builds I use for testing switches and things. What are the other colours? Well, we get on to the second one now. So this is the second Matrix board of mine. So the first one was mine, this one's mine, and then the third one we're going to look at today, that is the customer's board that we're going to build. Just going to try and snip this open. There we go. Maybe Grizion, if I have it. I do, but the original run of Grizion doesn't have ISO support, unusual, so I would need either the JTK version or the upcoming revised GMK version, which will have UK ISO on it. Oh, don't talk about the fenders on Fair Ladies and AOS. No, it ruins them. It ruins them. Okay, so Matrix Labs number 2. That one has R5 bottom rotor. It does, yeah, which is good. This is the second one of my personal builds. Again, got all this. Oh, we've got a third different badge here. So look, we've got a different badge for this one. This one's got a slightly different badge. This is in the black sparkly colorway. I think on stream at some point soon in the workshop, I'm going to make like a little holder for Matrix badges, because I've got so many of them. Like a little acrylic block that we can, like an artisan display case, but for Matrix badges. I think we're going to do that. That'd be a good stream, I think. Okay, and then here you can see we have all of the Matrix padding and everything else. Oh, there's way more in this one. We have oh, some little see these that little star and the little X there? Those are little plates that go for the LED on the top front of the board. Some more matrix feet. More stickers. I might have to put one of these in the back. Oh, one of these might go really cool in the back window of the green truck. That might be something I have to do. Oh gosh, there's loads in this one. There's loads. Some of the Matrix Labs Panda stickers. Some more of these Matrix Labs ones, slightly different colorway. Definitely going to have to put one of these in the back of the truck. Definitely. What's in here? Oh, this is sealed. I think that's more JST connectors and bits and pieces. Oh, and it's got a so this board is slightly different. You'll see in a second. It's got a filter in here for the LEDs, and another sticker. And then here we go. This is the second. Oh man, I can't even get this out. Ugh. So here we go. This is the second colorway, and as you can see, this one's slightly different. So I hope that this picks up on camera that this is black and sparkly. Sparkles! This is so cool. And then on the base, we should have the white sparkle. So we've got the black with the white sparkle. Nebula and McFlurry mixed together. This is so cool. The white does really sparkle. It's really difficult to get it on camera, but like this effect that you see here, that's on the white as well. So there you go. So those are the two matrix boards I have. Now this one does have a diffuser that goes inside. You can see we've got a black accent piece here, but you can have this light up with LEDs, and there is a milled polycarbonate accent piece you can pop in instead as well. So there we go. Cool. Pretty happy with that. I do have a Matrix IM Plus, which is the only board I'm waiting for to arrive, so I can plan in the Matrix build stream where I just build Matrix keyboards for a day. That's the last one I'm waiting to arrive. It should be here pretty soon, I think, straight after Chinese New Year. I think Albert said it would ship, so we'll see. The sparkle's awesome. It's so good as a sparkle. It's so good. Lots of foams in this one as well. There we go. There we go. I think everyone should try a Matrix board one day. Yeah, so many stickers. I think that's because Albert knew this one was for me. There we go. Zanette, thank you very much for being here. I'll see you later. See you again soon. Drifty says, wow, when you get one of the boards, can you get a ton of accent accessories in the group buy sale? I feel like I'd spend a lot on them. You can buy loads of little accent badges and other bits and pieces. Yeah, and you need to know the date if on a weekday so I can book it off work. Yeah, I'll announce it a couple of weeks in advance. I think it's probably going to be early March given current schedules and timings of stuff, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Let's do a Vesta board check because the thing's just come off. See if anything's happened. Ben Dudes is now following. Thanks for the support. There you go. So the Vesta board has updated. If you want to tweet me on the Vesta board and send a message, you can do that. Just tweet at JPrototypist and send then your message, and it will show up on the Vesta board pretty quickly. Cool. Okay. So now it's time to show you the customer's board. This is for Fox Clam, who's watching the stream right now. Yeah, some of the badges are standard size and interchangeable with other Matrix boards. So the badges that I have for my Matrix Vitas, for example, and the Falcon, I can move onto these as well. I have like 30 from a different group buy for the badges, so I got loads of different ones. Hey Kindian, thanks very much for being here, man. I'm doing well, thank you. I'm full of cold, but I'm doing okay. Okay, so this is the customer's one. As you can see, he's got one of these little badges as well. Hey, it's me. It's super cute. I'll pop that to one side because we'll need that later on. We'll also need these later on, so we'll pop these up here. And then you'll see what these are for later on, but effectively, these are clamps to hold in the gasketed areas of the plate. You had the lurgy too, dude. It's like the second cold I've had in about 4 weeks. Alera, thank you very much, man. Have a good day at uni. Analyzing bones. Top sket mount. Yeah. Top gasket mount, maybe. I don't know if they've got an official word. It's not COVID though, Huey. Luckily, I hope yours isn't as well. Vitamin D is the key. I get a lot of time outside because we have the doors open here at the workshop, so it's almost like being outdoors a lot of the time. So I should be okay on the vitamin D front. Okay, gas top mount. Yeah, I guess. Okay, so we've got more feet. I'll show you those up close because the feet are pretty cool. They've got matrix slabs emblazoned on them, and they're pretty cool. I'm just going to put these gaskets to one side, and here you go. This is the customer's board. I can't remember what the name of this colour is, but it's like a creamy colour. I think. Looking at it like this, I haven't actually taken this out. Oh, that's really nice. That is absolutely lovely. It's like an off-white creamy colour. Oh wow, look at this. He's gone for the pink. Wait. That is super cool. This is way better than the colours I picked. Oh man, that's super cool. That pink and off-white, that works so well together. That's super cool. Damn. It's really interesting to show you that like there's a really smooth bevel here. Like there's like you can see there's an angle. This side is angled to this side. It's so hard to show you, but there is like a slight angle there. It's really nice. It just feels really nice. Same on the rear as well. It just kind of, it's so difficult to show you, but like it is angled against each other. It just feels really nice to touch and pick up. The green and yellow is amazing as well, dude. They're all really cool, but this is the pink. The pink. I want a whole board in the pink. I need to reach out to Albert and say, make me a whole board in this pink, because that pink's super cool. Okay, good taste from Fox Clan. Okay. That pink is really nice. It is, yeah. I chose the colours for an office keyboard and to create my first board as it's special to me. Nice, dude. You picked well. Like, that pink is super cool. I'm a big fan of that pink already. Such a hot board. Yeah. Yeah, so there is different versions of the Emmy Anarchy, yeah. You can go and have a look on Matrix Labs site. But yeah, there is a different version that has like the corner blocker and stuff. My green one is the same as this, but the black one is slightly different. It's the special edition. So they did an Emmy and an Emmy SE. So yeah, good naming convention. I like it. Okay, let's take a look into it, see what we've got here. I think this is the gaskets. Okay, so packs of gaskets. Pop those to one side because we'll need those later on. We have a daughter board and JST. That's for the USB, so that goes in the top corner. We have a packet full of screws, which I assume are spares. We'll take a look at all those shortly. See how they work. We have the plate, grey plate. You can see here, this is where the tabs are. So each of these tabs has a gasket on, and then you basically put these underneath those tabs and screw up so you can see that they fit through the tabs and hold in the tabs like that. So they sit underneath and you screw them up and it holds the tabs in place. I'll show you more details soon. Nice plate. Let's take this out. So this is the grey aluminium plate. And you can see it's got all of these kind of, almost like each switch is semi leaf spring cut out. Now these won't work as actual leaf springs, just because they're not cut on both sides, but they should reduce, increase flexibility and change the sound profile somewhat. So it's interesting to see how this is going to pan out. Now, it's only on the alpha keys, as you'll see. It's not affecting the arrow keys or the modify keys, but it's interesting. It's pretty cool. As well as that, we have the PCB. Let's take a look. Yeah, the plate's kind of crazy. Let's have a look. Are these plates milled or are these laser cut? These do not look to be laser cut. These look to be milled. Yeah, these look to be milled. I can't see any of the standard burr marks that you would get from laser cutting. So I think these are milled plates. So I think this has been CNC milled, which is pretty cool. I'd like to try something like that in carbon fiber, see how it comes out. Okay, and then we have a layer of foam. I think this sticks down into the base. Or maybe this sticks onto the back of the PCB actually. I think this sticks onto the back of the PCB. Foam to stick on the back of the PCB. Interesting. But I assume, Foxclan, you want me to use all the foams or just some of the foams? I don't think we talked about that in our email chain. Let me know if you can. And then here's the PCB. So this is the top of the PCB. You see we've got flex cuts horizontally here. They have got blockers in the middle. And then flex cuts on the base as well. I think this is like the tape mod, yeah. Just looking at it, it fits exactly on here, and there's little cutouts where the JST connectors go. So there you go. So I'm gonna, oh, there you go, one of them's popped through. So you can see that you're gonna have like this, the JST connector. Incredible, thank you so much Nathan for the follow. So yeah, we'll install that towards the end of the stream, see how that goes. Okay, and we still have more to unwrap because there is more parts here. What switches are we using? I'll talk about switches in a second. The customer has sent me their switches to use for the build. The PCB colour is dope. Yeah, it's like a dark green. It's really nice. The 1.02 PCB, I think there must be a couple of types because the one I have for my 1.02 is red, Huey. But maybe I did build one on stream. I built a black one on stream that I think did have this color PCB actually. Yeah, I think you might be right, but I know that my personal 1.2 OG has a red PCB. Okay, some more screws. So pop them to one side. This is injection molded rubber. And this is pretty cool. This sits inside the case just underneath here like so. And this actually screws into place. This actually has screw slots to hold it in because this is quite a weighty piece of rubber. Like this is quite chunky and thick, and it is sloped, so it is shaped, so it does taper off towards the end, but it's quite a solid bit of material and you don't want that flopping around inside the keyboard. So it does have 4 screw holes to screw down, which is pretty cool. And then here we have, I think, is this 2 pieces? Yeah, okay. So I think what we have here is some foam to go between the plate and the PCB, which makes sense. And then this is almost like a film. Is this supposed to sit on top of the PCB as well? How interesting. How interesting. This is like a vinyl film. It's like a vinyl film, maybe 1 mil thick. Does this have a peelable edge? Is this peelable? Is this something we stick in? I don't remember this being in the Matrix build guide. Okay, I can't tell. Interesting. Yeah, I think it does just sit on top of the PCB, but I don't know if you want that on the PCB as well as this. Okay, so Fox Clan, you need to let me know how you want me to build this, because we'll have to make some decisions pretty soon. There are a lot of foams. Incredible. Joe Velo, thank you so much for the follow, man. I appreciate that. Okay. So we'll take a look at the insides of the case shortly. But before we do that, let's put the feet on, and then I don't mind putting it down anywhere. I love that pink base. It's pretty cool. Let's put the feet on first. Maybe just to black out the PCB if you wanted to. Don't know if that would have an impact on the sound because it looked pretty thin. It's about 1 millimeter thick. I think it would affect sound, but I don't know how much. So these feet are pretty cool. Injection molded, rubber, and have the Matrix Labs logo on. It's pretty cool. Gotta love that branding. Let's get these installed nicely. That's one installed. Yeah, I think it was pretty thin, but I think it would affect it slightly. There we go. I'm just making sure I'm installing the feet the correct way around here as well, because they have got the logo on. We want them all to be the same. Sorry, Fox Clan. There is quite a little bit more foam, and I can't remember what we discussed in the email. I did have a look. This sits between the PCB and the plate, if you would like that installed, and this sits flush on top of the PCB if you would like it installed. The other ones are all installable and removable afterwards, because there is the one there's the sound dampener that screws into the base, which we can put in, and you can choose whether you want it there or not. And then finally, there's the tape mod foam for the base of the PCB, which we can install for you as well. So I just need to know which of those 3 you would like installing, or all of them. So it's the base foam, the thin vinyl sheet, and then the plate PCB foam. If you can let me know which you would like to have installed, I will make sure that that goes as it should do. Okay, so all of the feet are installed, all with the Matrix Labs logo, facing in the correct orientation, and looking pretty nice. Slight bit of rubber just peeling off this one. Let's see if we can fix that. There we go. Looking very neat and tidy. That pink is so good. Okay. Now we've done that, we can pop the board to one side. There is a spare foot, which will go back with the board. Case and PCB, I think. Will it make a major difference in feel and sound? It will probably mute the sound a little bit if we put it between the plate and the PCB. So, as I say, there is 3 layers. There's this layer which sits on top of your PCB. Then this sits in between your switches. That will probably mute the sound of it, make the switches probably sound more even across the board as well. Some people like it, some people don't. And this one, you will be able to remove this if you don't like it, but this is effectively a tape mod. This is stuck to the rear of the PCB after the build, and that's removable as well if you don't like it after it's in place. These ones won't be able to be removed. Once these are in, they're in. So there we go. As you can see, this one just sits on the PCB there. And then, as we build the PCB up, we can put the thin sheet on, and we can install the switches around that. And then we can put this in, which goes in between the switches, and then the plate would sit on top. So you have like a sandwiched effect, which would dampen the sound somewhat, but it'd probably make it sound more even across the board as well. It's entirely up to you, Fox Clan. Let me know which you prefer, and I can build it either way. These 2, once they're in, we can't change them. The rear sticky sheet, we can change that once it's in, and we can remove it if we need to. So there we go. Whilst you're deciding that, we're going to lube up stabilizers and torque switches. So the switches for today's build, as you can see on the build command, these are Duroc Sunflowers. I believe that Fox Clan has lubed these himself. I haven't lubed them, so I'm not quite sure what they're lubed with. But yeah, these are the switches we're going to use today. And we're going to use Duroc V2 stabilizers as well. let's start on the stabilizers while FoxClan decides how he wants the foams to be arranged in the PCB. So we are building this ANSI for the customer. So we're going to use full backspace, ANSI enter, full left shift or full right shift, and then a 7U spacebar. Is that 7U? That wire looks distinctly like it might be 6.25U. If it is, we will change it. I think I have a 7U wire I can give to FoxClan for this. Let me just check. Do we have a 7U wire? 6.25 as well. Yep. I will have another 7U wire. It's just finding it. Okay. Is this a 7U? That's 6.25 as well. Is this a 7U? No, 6.25 as well. Yep. Here we go. 7U wire. So, FoxClan, I'm giving you a 7U wire because that's the size wire you need for the build. I'll send 6.25U back. There we go. I knew we'd have a spare wire. Cool. Okay, so time to get these lubed up. Just grab my brush. Let's get these stabilizers installed. Go for all of them. Sounds good, FoxClan. We can definitely do that for you. Not a problem at all. And guys, let me know your thoughts. How would you build this? Would you build this with all 3 foams, or would you try different layers of different foams yourselves? How would you guys do it? So we've got backspace, ANSI, left shift, right shift. We don't have enough stabilizers. No, I'm gonna have to dig out some more stabilizers. You use all of the foam and tape. Okay, so we do have 1 stabilizer short for this build. So we need a stabilizer here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we are a stabilizer short, but I should be able to use some of my personal ones to rectify that. You probably try it without case foam and see which you like the best. That's fair. That's fair. Would you put the PCB and plate foams in? We need 2 additional screws. We do have some screws. Those screws will work. We might just be short of a couple of red washers. Let me see if I can find some. Okay, we're going to have to use 2 clear washers for at least one of the stabilizers, I'm afraid. There we go. We have plenty of clear. Okay, time to get lubing on the stabilizers. I had a Emmy SE built with all the foam. Sounds good to my ears. Nice. With the PCB foam, but without the case foam. Well, the case is a sound dampening rubber pad, so I wouldn't really call that a foam, I don't think. But I see what you mean. So this lube here is 205 at grade 2. We're just going to put a nice even amount on here. Don't want to overlube. It's much easier to add more lube later on if you've underlubed than it is to add, than it is to take away lube if you've overlubed. So just bear that in mind. Bud, hey man, good to see you. Thank you very much for being here. Does a PCB have solder mask? The pads could be to prevent shorting, I guess. That's a good point, yeah, that's a good point. We'll have a look at that in a bit more detail, Anarchy. You know more on that topic than I do, so I will defer to your judgment. Oh, that reminds me, Anarchy, your package is going out tomorrow with your acrylic cut in it as well. That'll be picked up tomorrow and delivered sometime next week for you. Black POM is difficult to get hold of, so it's really expensive. For a sheet of black POM that cuts a plate the same size as the sheets I buy, for the sheets I buy that will cut 3 plates, it's about £65 in white POM. To buy that in black POM is over £300 right now. So in the UK, finding black POM in 1.5mm thick sheets is very difficult. There just is no supply here at the minute. If there was, I'd be offering it and I'd be cutting it. If you want white ones, then the service is down until Monday, but on Monday you'll be able to order plates through my service on the website as well. But yeah, black POM is difficult to find in nice thin sheets. There's just very little supply in the UK right now. And that's at wholesale prices as well. That's before you even consider the cost for running the laser and quality control, the potential for errors, all those other things as well. Yeah, I think you're right, Anarchy. I don't like. There's nothing wrong with the files. It's just happened that I've had issues every time I've tried to cut them, completely unrelated to the files themselves. It's just been one of those serendipitous things. But yeah, hopefully they're okay for you. If you have any issues with them, let me know. I did cut an extra one of the middle layers with the USB cutout because there was a slight crack in one. The gap between the screw circular slots and the edge of the board is like 1 millimeter in some places. It's really thin, and the acrylic can crack quite easily there. So I have screwed it together with 3 or 4 bolts just to hold it all together in place whilst it's in shipping. So just make sure you want to check those, Anarchy, when it arrives. I think I have enough material to cut one more piece if we need to. I kind of like a half plate Futura. I don't dislike a half plate. They do make a change to how the boards feel to type on. Yeah, 100%. Did make a difference. Variance of typing the alpha keys more interesting. Yeah, I mean, like, it depends on the plate material, the PCB, the structure of the board, but invariably it tends to make it feel softer on the alphas and firmer on the modifiers. And some people really like that because you feel like you're getting contact from the modifiers, but the actual typing experience itself is quite nice and soft. I think it just really depends on what your personal preference is. But yeah, I don't dislike a half plate. I use it semi-often on builds. It's a little bit more difficult with ISO because of the shape of the ISO enter and the way the modifiers work in the area on the board, but it's absolutely doable. I have some half plates in stock on the site right now for standard 60% layouts. Nice. What are your thoughts on half plates we talked about? Have I tried 2mm plates? Would it work with switches? So it's more of an issue with stabilizers than switches. So yeah, you can have issues with switches not clipping in properly, but that usually goes away once it's soldered, especially if you put like a spacer in to keep the plate up in places. 2mm is doable, but it actually affects the stabilizers a little bit more because of the way the wires move. So you lose the clearance around the wires where the wires push into the actual stabilizers housings. And I've used 2mm thick copper plates before, and you actually have to make the stab openings a little bit larger than usual just to make sure you've got the clearance for the stabilizer wire to raise and lower. So 2mm can be an issue. I would recommend very much not using them unless you're having them milled to accommodate the cutouts for stabilizers on the rear. Hey Jay, do the flex cuts on that plate actually do anything or just increase cutting cost? I think they'll change the sound profile of the switches. They're not actually going to be flexible around the switch cutouts, and the main reason for that is because for the way a leaf spring has to work, you have to have 2 cuts that are working in tandem together, and they're effectively offering opposing forces on the typing experience. Here that's not the case, so I think they'll affect sound more than they'll affect flexibility. Thank you. Yeah, I'm aware that they're in place. Hopefully when assembled, the 18 bolts should hold them into place. I think it'll be fine. Yeah. I am Alaric, yes. I was in the impression that I'm saving on my... This is a customer build. So at the start of the stream, Alaric, we unboxed 3 Matrix MEs. 2 are my personal build, and this is a customer build. So that's my 2 personal builds have gone in my Matrix queue, but this is a customer build. Twice in a row that we've done a customer build. We don't usually do customer builds on stream, but 2 customers in 2 weeks have requested it. And next week on stream, we'll be building my derivative, which I'm really excited about. Justin is pretty good designer, and the derivative is a board that I've been looking forward to for a long time. And I was lucky enough to win one in the raffle quite recently, so I'm very excited to build the derivative next week. Just putting a small amount of lube into the rear of the stabilizer housing here. That's one. Yeah, I can show you guys the derivative if you like to look later on. Switch is lubed with Tribosys 3203 and filmed. Nice. Well, we're lubing with 205 at G2 for the stabilizers because I find that the best lube. Yeah, if you guys want to see the derivative, just ask in a little bit. Matrix boards are just something a little bit different. They have so many different affectations. They offer a ton of different colors. They're just really interesting boards overall. Their design philosophy is very different to what we see in many Western group buys, and it's just fun to see all of these different affectations and considerations that the designers at Matrix put into their boards. I did get a Cloudline, yes, I did get a Cloudline. I was lucky enough to be able to secure a Cloudline, yes. I'm just putting a small amount of lube here on the stabilizer housings, just on the sliders. And then, as I say, a small blob of lube just in the rear of each one as well, just to make sure that there's no rattle. For the Cloudline, I went for the blue. I was going to go for the red, but I have too many red boards, so I went for the blue in the end. Yeah, I'm all about risk and having something different in a design, and Matrix have been doing it for 7 years now. They've been going since 2015, so they've kind of like got a good series of boards under their belt. They know what they're doing, they know what they're about. Some of the Able boards are so cool. The Matrix V to the Falcon. The only one I've ever been disappointed with was the Noah, and I just think that just needed one more screw in the front of the case to hold it together a bit better. But yeah, we'll rebuild my Noah anyway when it comes around to it. Randall Bolt's finally got around to building his Saturn 60. Nice, I built mine a couple of weeks ago. It's actually just on the shelf behind me. It's a pretty cool board. I love the retro looks of it. And it actually sounds pretty good as well, which I wasn't expecting. Like, it's one of those designs that I was just expecting to sound not good. But it doesn't, it sounds pretty good, does the Saturn 60. Okay. There we go. You do wish you went with gold handle? Yeah, mine's got a gold handle, or brass handle, rather. Okay, that's the stabilizers loop. Let's get these in the PCB. Okay. Now we are building with ANSI Enter today because it's a customer build, it's not for me. So no ISO today, we are going for the ANSI Enter. And of course we're going for the full left and full right shifts. And then of course the 7U spacebar, which, where does it go? I believe it has to go there, is that right? Let's just check this out. So if we, I think it goes here, but let's just have a look. Yeah, that looks right. He says, let's pop it in and let's try. Okay, let's just try the plate before we screw that in. Okay, that looks good. So everything now lines up from a stabilizer's perspective. It looks pretty neat. Incredible. The real manager, mister. Thank you very much for the follow. Okay, let's get the screws installed and the washers. Pokemon Kid says, hey Jay, how's it going? Feeling any better yet? I still feel awful at the minute. I'm full of cold still, but I'm alright. I'm fine, really. I just like to whinge and moan about it. No, the PCB sheet should be able to go on after the stab, so yeah, good watch out, but it should be able to go on after the stabilizers. We'll take a look and check, but I'm pretty sure it can go on afterwards. Couldn't tempt the client to go ISO. I don't want to tempt someone to do something they don't want to do. Like, this is their product. They want this to be for them. There we go, you see. Install. Oh no, it does need to go on first. It does need to go on first because the cutouts aren't there for the wires. So really, really good spot, Anarchy. So I thought that the sheet could go on top afterwards and it would be fine. But the wires are the issue. So you are absolutely right. We need to put the sheet on first and then we can install the stabilizers. So let's undo this. Good catch, Anarchy. Very impressive catch. I thought it would be fine, but you were right. It does need to go on first. Did you see the Heebie-Tees and in-stock board on their Instagram? I really wish them the best of luck. Yeah, I think quite a few vendors are trying to do in-stock boards this year. We'll have a couple of prototypists in stock, not just extras, but actual in-stock boards, which is pretty exciting. I think the only one that would have been okay was the space bar, but hey, we've got it in now. We're good. Real Mr. Manager says, nice looking plate. Yeah, the plate's interesting. We'll talk a little bit more about it and how it works when we finish the build. We'll see how it affects the sound of the design as well. This one just doesn't quite want to go back in. Let's see why. There we go. Okay, and then a last stabilizer over here, and then we can screw these in place. Okay, flip this over. And then we'll take our washers and get these installed. I've seen these sheets sometimes have slits so they can slip under the stab wires. Yeah, I suppose we could have cut it, but this one doesn't have the slits, so it's fine. It works as it is. That's okay. Do I have any boards from Zekworks or Perry? I don't think I bought an Ogre. I do like Zekin's designs. I think he had a numpad at one point that I was going to buy. I don't know if it ever ran. If it did, I didn't buy it. But I built a couple of boards from Zek. The art and display looks hella nice. Thanks, man. That is just some of my favourite Kaporas. Remember, guys, when you tighten these screws down, you only want to go finger tight and then a quarter turn more. You don't need to go any tighter than that. You're not trying to throttle the PCB or kill the PCB. I've seen some people snap PCBs in half from over tightening these screws, so make sure you're not that person. Yeah, what was the name of that Zek numpad he was going to do? I can't remember what it was called, but it was pretty cool. I remember really liking the look of it. This is the reason why I don't like ANSI layout mainly, because it's an extra stabilizer, at least one extra stabilizer. JQ Tunis is oh yes, it was. I thought you said yes. Then I misread that. Yeah, it was Eve. Yes, that was the name of it. Yes, well remembered. Well remembered. Either that or you are very good with the Google. I think one stabilizer has just slipped out, so we'll have to pop that in back in a second. Yeah, where did you dig that up from, JQ? I've never really liked the sound of any foams personally, but that's not to say that they're bad. Like everyone's got personal preference, right? I've just always preferred boards without any foam inside. Like it's always just felt to me like I've failed in the build if I've had to resort to using foam. But lots of boards are designed to use it these days, so I feel like that's okay. So we've just got this last screw to put in place here. Well, not like the V3H7 with nearly 32 stamps. Yeah, right. There we go. So that's the first layer of foam installed. It fits nicely over the PCB, as you can see. So now it's time to install this layer of foam, and then we can start to pop some switches into the board as well. So this is how it sits. I think that's going to have to just... So I'm a little bit concerned here on the stabilizer here. The main reason being that this foam actually lifts up here and doesn't sit flush on the stabilizers, just because of the way the stabilizer housing is. So I am maybe tempted to see if we need to cut that. I think everything else will be okay. Let's line up the plate. Okay, it should be okay actually. That should be okay. And then it's time to start getting some switches in the board. Jay just wondering, as an avid keyboard enthusiast, are you going to consider selling handmade coil cables? As it's really hard to find UK coil cable sellers. Personally, I think a group buy would be a good idea and I would buy it. Pecs and PCs, Tuckas, I use both of those all of the time for my cables personally. I'd recommend that you took a look at that as well. Oh, interesting. Interesting. This sheet that we've put underneath, can anyone spot the issue with this sheet? What's the issue here, guys? Can anyone spot the issue here? There is an issue that precludes us from being able to include this on the build. We can't use this in the build. Can anyone see why? Can anyone see why we can't use that?
Tasty.
Alex Otos, hey man, good to see you. How did the Argyle build go? Alex, let me know. I'm really excited to watch your conclusions on the Argyle build. Yeah, let me know if you guys can spot why this can't be used. stick the legs through. Yeah, I don't want to push the legs through, Anarchy. But yeah, Alex, I'm glad you loved it. Thank you so much for the comments there. Do let me know in our little chat how you feel about it as well, because I'm really I think you need to build me for both builds now, I think. But yeah, let me know what you thought of it. The pins are the answer, yeah. So we can't include this Fox Clam, I'm really sorry, but it doesn't have the pin cut out, so we're not going to include this sheet. I don't want to just push pins through, because it will just puncture it and be a bit weird. I don't want to do that. So we're going to remove it. You're supposed to push them through? Oh no, I don't like that. I don't like that. Really? Like, that just feels so wrong. Oh, I don't like this. Like, oh man. Like, we're supposed to push them through? I do not like that. Is there a reason not to puncture? No, I just don't like it. Okay, well, we'll carry on. We'll do the puncturing. I don't like that at all. For me, I just put the holes in it. Like, it's been laser cut. You just put the holes in, right? Okay, we'll go with it. I'm not happy, but we'll go with it. We'll go with it. Oh man, I've seen other people pushing it through. Indeed, I do not like that. I do not like that. Yeah, I don't know. Like, if you're gonna just cut things, you just make it right, right? Like, it's not hard. Let's get this foam lined up. I do not like that. Okay, some of these switch housings have come apart when the customers leave them. Oh man, that feels so weird. Incredible. Thank you so much, Dr. One, for the incredible follow there. I really appreciate that. After the first few, you'll be okay. I do not like it. Like, I've built a lot of boards. I've built thousands of boards now. I don't like having to pierce things with the switches themselves. That just feels weird. No, not a fan of that. Okay, but we're okay. We'll finish the build. We'll be okay. I'll get past it. Owl Labs started all the PE madness. PE foam's been around a lot longer than Owl Labs. Like, people were using PE foam in keyboards back in 2015. So it's not that new. I shouldn't have said to do it. You wouldn't have used the PE foam. Yeah. Like, people were putting PE foam in... so people actually used to put PE foam inside stabilizer housings years ago. This was an old Korean mod where people would put foam inside stabilizer housings. Or even cut up bits of sponge. Sometimes you used to find inside stabilizer housings, you'd find yellow bits of kitchen sponge, just corners cut off kitchen sponges, pushed into stabilizers to stop the rattle. That was a very early mod in keyboard world. I remember when that was all the rage, and people used to do that all the time. And now we'd look on that as being a bit archaic and a bit strange and unusual. Incredible. Nah, there was builds with it under switches years ago. It did work to an extent, Anas, until it came out, and then it was a struggle. You'd have to get like tweezers to try and push it back in, or cocktail sticks. Sounds like it would be very mushy. Yeah, it was, but it worked, I guess. Yeah, the customer chose Palm Sunflowers for this build. Incredible. Thank you so much, guys, for all the incredible follows. I appreciate those. Thanks for pronouncing my name correctly. I just did it to rhyme with bananas, right? That's how I assumed you wanted it to be said. Incredible. Thank you so much, guys. All these follows are incredible. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm not a fan of foams in general, personally. I try to avoid them, but all of these follows, incredible. Thank you so much, guys. So many people just assume it's Anna. No, I try. Like, if I get a name wrong, I'll try and get it right. I get people to coach me to get the name right, so we try. But we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, what did you guys think of Argyle? Tell me in comments what you thought of Argyle if you watched Alex Otos' build stream and you hear from there, because I'm super excited for that board to run. We're really close to the group buy, and I'm hoping the price will be pretty attractive because it should be under $400, which is pretty cool. Very pretty. Was it the orange one that Alex built? That was Lodestone Orange, if it was. Lodestone Orange is one of my favourite colours that we've made here at Prototypist. Looks super pretty. Nice. Hey Snicket, hey man. I think I have a DM from you. I'll get to that tomorrow. Maybe it's a group chat. Love building the through hole as well. Yeah, the through holes are super cool. The last things we need to do just before we announce the pricing is just double check all the prices of the components that you need to make the through hole bits, which I'm doing first thing tomorrow. F Cortec 91, thank you so much for the follow, mate. That is incredible. Alex had a bit of difficulty with a couple of LEDs on the right window, so hopefully that was just a soldering issue, not software hardware. Yeah, those LEDs are really difficult for people to solder. So yeah, we may try and do something with those and have them pre-soldered on the PCBs. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see. What resolution did you guys come to for the windows? So they are push mount. So the way the windows mount into the board now, they have they're a rectangle and they have a small nubbin on the top and the bottom, and that nubbin actually. So let me flip cameras. I'll show you. So if you imagine that this is the window, but it's clear acrylic, it has like a small nubbin on top and a small nubbin underneath, and you push the window in, bend it slightly and push the other side in, and it clips in using the two nubbins. We were going to try and gasket mount them in like you would an actual window, but there wasn't enough room in the case. It was really fiddly. But the plan is for all of the windows to be pre-installed before customers get them. That's the plan. Fair bit of manual labour. It was the orange? Yeah. The orange Argyle. Lodestone Orange. One of my favourite colours we've had done here. The Argyle was awesome looking, but for me there's also like 3 keycap sets I want to get in Feb. Yeah. I think we should be able to announce a date and prices. Incredible. Thank you so much, Anas, for the follow. I appreciate that. Tian says, hi Jay, just started following you here and on Insta recently. Love your stories showing the warehouse. Can you give us some background? How did the Prototypist come about and what made you start a keyboard biz? So I've been in the hobby for quite a number of years. I'm not going to use that switch. And I was always like into keyboards for a long time. I think I joined my first group buys in 2014. And Prototypist was something I had in my mind for a while. Now originally Prototype was supposed to start right at the very beginning of 2019, but unfortunately my mum passed away and we had a few other issues in the family, and I never got round to it. So originally I went to Seattle, the meetup in Seattle in July 2019, and that was where Prototype was supposed to launch. Unfortunately it didn't all align like that, so Prototype started up towards the back end of November in 2019 instead. That was when we finally got around to running the store. But the main reason I wanted to run Prototype is because I've been in the hobby for a long time. I designed some keyboards with some friends, the JL one originally, the OG one, and there was a lack of products in the UK. So I just wanted to help people design boards. I wanted to help people get them manufactured. We offer a service where we pay for people to prototype things. Like quite a few people have come to me, and no strings attached, I will help them pay for prototypes. If they then choose to not run their group buy with me or whatever, that's fine. That's completely no strings attached. It's up to them what they do. And I just want to help people make the cool things in the hobby. That's where it came from. Whoops. And now we've been running for 2 years. We have a 2,200 square foot warehouse. We're putting an 1,800 square foot mezzanine floor in place. Hopefully this week coming. It should arrive on Wednesday. Solid steel construction coming in. Yeah, we've just grown from there really. For the first year we took a couple hundred orders a month. Now I think we average on shipping 4,000 orders and probably somewhere in the region of take 6,000 orders a month in group buys, maybe 7,000 depending on what we've got live. Yeah, it's good fun. It's now I don't take any income from Prototypist right now, but I don't have a day job anymore. I've quit work to do this full time. I don't get paid or anything at the minute. The only money I earn is what I earn from Twitch, which is like $100 a month, $200 a month at most. So yeah. Manufacturing nightmare? Not really. Having things manufactured with components in place isn't usually too difficult. Most PCBs come manufactured like that. The 3D printers are actually finished printing, but when we sell switches, we give away free 3D printed stem holders. That's what did finished printing on the printer earlier on. Yeah, so that's those. I'll set it going again before I leave tonight. Living the dream. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes I think doing keyboards is living the dream. Sometimes I don't. I think it really depends on what's going on at the time. Like, it can be really stressful because there's just so much to do. But yeah, I do like my life right now. I finally got a JO2 LE, which is like my endgame 60%, and I love it so much. Congratulations, man. Yeah, James did all of the design work on CAD on that, following on my vision from the original JO1 series and the way to lay out the board. But he did all of the CAD design on that, and I'm super happy with how the JO2 came out. We are actually doing a revision of the JO2 at the minute as well, so we're fully going back to ground and building up on the whole design. So there should be more on that pretty soon. The best warehouse worker exercise you can get is running up the mezzanine stairs. Yeah, Mel's going to be getting used to that early next week, hopefully. Are you trying to make this work full-time, or you just want to take some time away from work? So I don't have a day job anymore. I officially legally retired back in April 2021. So just almost a year ago now I retired. I don't have any income right now. I do prototypist for the love of it at the moment. I probably will need to take a salary at some point, but it's my full-time work. I spend 60 to 70 hours a week here at the workshop. So, you know, it is, for all intents and purposes, my full-time work. I just don't get paid for it. I do it for free. That's insane. I hope to reach sales like that with my keyboard store in the future. Yeah, like we've just grown massively, and I think we hit a niche where people can get products they couldn't get before, and Brexit's been hard on the UK community as well, so we're just trying to help alleviate all those issues. What do I think of the EM8 mount? I think it's really interesting, which is why I bought one. I can't wait to try it out. Okay, I'm just realigning the foam a little bit that goes between the switch and the plate here. Between the PCB and the plate, sorry. Just to make sure it's all nice and even. Okay, so we're almost done. The last few switches we need to pop in need to go in the bottom row. We can put the spacebar one in now. But what we're going to do is we're just going to get some switches and we're going to get some keycaps, and we're going to make sure that we cover the correct bottom row here. So let me see if I can find. Will you go public? I want stock. No. There is no need for prototypes to go public. It's all funded with my personal savings. Oh, that's not returning. Why isn't that returning? We'll have a look at that in a bit. So yeah, we won't be going public. There's no need for stock. Right. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to build this wing keyless. So we're going to get some 1.5U keys, and we're going to make sure we're putting all of this bottom row in the correct place. So the easiest way to do this is to throw keycaps on the floor, but it's to get 1.5U keycaps, put them on the switches, and then we can make sure that everything's going to fit nicely. We also want some more new ones, just so we get the correct spacing. Whoops. And I'll show you guys how this works in a second. Now, they don't need to be correct for the bottom row, they just need to be 1.5U and 1U keycaps, and then we can make sure we're putting the switches in the right spot. That'll do. There we go. This is GMK Lux. It's one of the potential options that you guys will get to pick to put on the board once it's finished being built. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to pop switches into the PCB. Incredible. Thank you so much, RYCZZ. Thank you so much. Okay, so this is the tough part now, because now we have to align this up. Oh, I see. That's the issue. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're just putting the switches in place to make sure that we're building it for a wing keyless layout. So we're putting the 1U switches in, which will then give us the correct distancing for the 1.5U modifier keys. And then we know that we can remove that switch in a second. We're going to do the same on the other side. Just need to move the foam slightly out of the way. Again, the same with the 1U key here. We know we don't need that in place. In fact, if we do need that in place, because we can then use this keycap as the distance justifier for this 1.5U keycap. Just need to make sure this foam is all tucked in nice and neatly. Okay, so that's just sat on the foam, not quite right. So we're just going to take this out. Just took that foam just a little bit more underneath the plate, and then just pop that switch back in. Incredible. Thank you so much for the follow, wife of Belilial. Okay, so now we know that everything's there on the bottom row. We know that that should work. We can take these keycaps off. Now this isn't returning, so we'll fix that towards the end of the stream. I think we've just probably got slight too much lube in the stabilizer here. That's really tight. There we go. Okay, and then we can remove the two wing keyless switches because this is a wing keyless build. That's one, and this is two. Whoops. Switches in really tight. There we go. Pop the switches back in the bag, and then now it's time to solder. So guys, whilst we're soldering, you guys can ask me any question you like about any topic you'd like as well. It doesn't have to be keyboard related. It can be any topic whatsoever. All you need to do is just tag me with @JPrototypist in chat, ask your question, and I will answer any questions at all you have about any topic on Earth, whatever you would like to know about. I will answer any topic. Let's get the soldering iron ready. So it can be about keyboards, it can be about life, the universe, anything at all that you would like to know about, and I'll answer your questions. All you need to do is just tag me with @JPrototypist, and I'll answer those questions on stream. Okay, I'm just going to check for bent pins whilst the soldering iron heats up. There are some switches that aren't fully embedded here. I'm just going to try and make sure we get those in place. Okay. We may have to put some pressure on these to get them in place. Aren't I missing a switch? No. Oh yeah, yes we are missing one switch, yeah. We'll pop that in a second. It's only a small job. Okay, we're going to have to put some pressure on when we solder here, purely because some of these switches just aren't quite clipping in correctly. Let's just move the soldering iron to one side for a minute. I'm just going to unplug that. I'm just not quite happy with how some of these switches are sat in the plate, so I think it might be the foam that's obstructing them a little bit, so let's test this out. What board do I daily drive? At the minute I'm using my Duck Orion, which you can see just here. That's the red board just there, Duck Orion TKL. But I have quite a few boards in my personal collection, and I switch between them quite frequently. So I think I have over 300 boards now. Well, it is over 300. I don't know the exact count though. Okay. Okay, I think that's better. Okay, let's do a quick check for bent pins. So I'm just checking each pin space and seeing if we've got any bent pins. I don't think we do, but we are going to have to put some pressure in places to make sure everything clips together. This is part of the reason why I tend not to prefer foams, because it just makes putting the PCB and the plate together a little bit more difficult at times. Just finished a 12-hour lube station print. Nice. Get a laser cutter. They work better out of acrylic, and it's quicker to laser cut them. It takes 5 minutes. Okay, so we did have a bent pin on this one. I'm just going to straighten that up. What's the best worst food? Oh man, the best word, cheese and ham toasties. Oh, they're so bad for you, but they're so good. They're so tasty. Cheese and ham toasty, yeah. Especially when you make it in the frying pan with butter. Oh, heaven. Heaven. If you don't have the money to be a laser cutter, you may struggle when it comes to the money to be a vendor, because things are expensive, and underwriting group buys, like, yeah, it's expensive. Do I like my H, like, or like, first one. What's your stance on NFTs? Let's not talk about NFTs. Do you support in the little slots where the stem is held when printing, or can your printer handle that overhang? It can easily handle that overhang. Easily. We can do overhangs up to like 4 inches, which is pretty cool. Coffee check. Yeah, we're drinking a Hebtro Co roast today. So there's a company called Hebtro Co. They're based in Hebden Bridge, which is about 10 miles away from me, and that's what we're drinking today. Okay, so everything is in place. Everything's looking good. We don't have any more bent pins that I can spot. So we're going to start soldering. Now, there is a little bit of flex in the PCB here, and you'll see that this switch here isn't fully inserted and seated correctly. So there are some switches that we're going to have to put some pressure on and pressure around whilst we solder them in place. So we're going to do that, and we're going to take it slow and steady, but soldering should be good. A little bit of flaky salt on the bread when you do the pan toast. Yes! Pan toasties should be done in a pan, not in an oven or under the grill. Like that's just the way to do it, right? My wife does them in the oven and they're fine, but in a pan with a bit of butter, oh heaven! Right, I'm gonna do switch in each corner. Keep your questions coming in, guys. You can ask anything you'd like, and I'll answer your questions. There we go. One switch in each corner, and then we'll start working our way across the board. Whereabouts in the UK am I based? I'm based in West Yorkshire. You can actually Google the location of Prototypist Keyboards. If you go to Google Maps and you search for Prototypist Keyboards, it'll literally show you where I am right now, because I'm in the workshop right now. Update on the KBD67 arrival. They're on the way. I don't have an exact date for you. I think they're stuck in China until after Chinese New Year, so we'll see when they come through, but they are on the way. I have bought quite a few of them for in stock. So yeah. What are your thoughts on the 2022 F1 changes? So I think they're pretty good changes all around. I'm really excited to see how the changes affect a few things. I think I'd like to see cars following a bit more closely, so I'm excited for that. That's the biggest change I'm excited for. The fact that cars are going to be able to follow more closely. Let's put that. Right, okay, so as we go through the board here, I'm just going to solder one pin on each switch. That's just so that I can then put a bit of pressure on afterwards and come back to them, just to make sure everything's aligned up correctly. Because I'm a little bit worried. Well, this one I'm going to do 2 for. There we go. Just give that a second to cool. There we go. I am a little bit worried that some of this foam is kind of pushing these switches out of the alignment they're going to be in. So I'm just going to solder one pin, and then what we'll do is we'll reheat the pins and press the solder and we'll press the plate and the PCB together with one hand and heat the solder with the other hand. We'll do that in a second. We're just going to go back down the board, just reheating and pushing to make sure that everything goes correctly. Okay, now you're making me hungry. Now you're making me hungry. Okay, I just want these to all be as flush as we can get them. I'm just going to do this for each and every switch, just because I think there's a slight chance that we won't get them correct. We might have just had a bent pin there as well that I've missed. Okay, so this one I've already soldered both. Incredible. Thank you, Project Melody. Thank you so much for the follow there. There we go. Okay, now I do think I missed a bent pin here, so I'm going to have to fix that off stream. Yeah, we do have a bent pin. So we do have one switch that we know won't work. I'll fix that off stream. Okay, now to do one pin on each of the top pins, and then we'll do the same thing, pressing the PCB and the plate together, just to make sure the switches are aligned. And then once we've done that, we'll carry on with the rest of the rows, and then we'll solder the top pins on each of the switches. Just want to make sure everything is as tightly aligned as it can be here. Right, let's check the questions. Thinking about buying a keyboard, but I don't know what to get. There's so many keyboards out there, man. I need more information than that. Do you agree that the English equivalent to Guten Appetit, Bueno Appetito, and Bon Appetit when eating national food is never mind? No, I don't, but I can kind of see where you're coming from. What do you think about the UK and EU keyboard community compared to North America and Asia? I think it's much smaller than North America for certain. Like from some rough numbers that I've kind of pulled together myself, I think that the UK community and the EU community together is about the size of the Seattle community, which kind of puts into context just how much bigger over in the US keyboards is. That's kind of where I see it being. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments. What is your current favorite GMK set? Oh man, I don't know. I don't know is my honest answer. Retro Arabic. GMK Retro Arabic. Let's go for that. If you're going to have 3 watches, one sport, one smart, one everyday, what watches would you pick? Apple Watch for the sport watch, and the smartwatch probably as well. And everyday, I'd probably pick one of my vintage Amigas because I wear a lot of them. I have 7 or 8 now, and I really like my vintage Amigas, so I'd probably pick one of those for the everyday watch. Is this leaded solder? It is, yeah. I'm slowly starting to work myself up. Started as a vendor was only around 300 bucks. I did mostly just lubing service, but now I'm working up some capital, so I'm doing larger stuff now. 18 in school, so I don't really have that much money to invest. Yeah, just don't do something that you can't back. Like, I don't run a group buy if I don't have the money to bail out that group buy. So if the group buy costs, say, $50,000 to run, and that's the basic cost of it, I make sure I've got another $50,000 tucked to one side before I would run the group buy. That's why some group buys don't happen as quick as other people expect them to. So designers often want me to run their group buys ASAP, but I have to make sure I can underwrite that group buy for the customers if anything goes wrong. And I use my personal savings for that. So yeah, that's the reason why sometimes things get delayed. Have you tried the new Gator unboxings? Yeah, I have some on order as well. I should have them in stock in the coming weeks. This is Google Maps says it cannot calculate driving directions to prototype keyboards from here. Yeah, it should. I mean, surely it shows like public transport, like a plane. Thinking of selling a full steel gummy O-ring mount 6065 with thicker bezels and use a cheaper finish to keep it around sub 250. What do I think? I mean, Sure, man. I don't know if you've got any manufacturer quotes, but steel isn't cheap. Like, steel is pretty expensive. Can I show the 3D printed sim holders? I mean, I can show you this here. I don't have one on hand, but effectively you cross the two legs over, so you cross the two legs over, and then they work as reverse tension. So as you let go, they grip, and as you squeeze, they let go. And they're just designed to hold on to the stems. Like the tips of them are designed to hold on to the stems of switches. They hold on to just the cruciform, so you can let loop the stems. What kind of solder mechanism is this? Sorry, tuned in a little late. This is just a solder roll holder. That's all it is. Okay, so now we've done that, what we can do is we can go back and we can solder the second pin on each of these switches. And that's got the top and bottom rows all nicely in place and held in correctly. We'll solder the second pin on each of the bottom row switches as well in a second. And so we do have one that's got a bent pin, which we'll have to fix off stream. Oh no, we've got another switch with a bent pin. I missed them. Oh, maybe we'll have to fix them now. I can't leave them. I can't leave them. We're going to have to fix them. And then we'll check properly for more. I think the pressure of the PCB and plate foam needed to push them together precluded me from checking the switch pins correctly. So let's just do this bottom row quickly. Soldering the second pin on here. Then we'll fix the two bent pins, and then we'll check the rest of the board again, and then we'll carry on with the soldering. That's the one with the bent pin. Okay, there we go, we're done. Right, let's take these two pins that are bent out. So, the way we're going to do this is we're going to use our switch puller. We're going to hold onto the switch from one side, and then we're going to heat up the pin that we've soldered in place, and we're hopefully going to pull the switch out without having to use the desoldering iron, which is in the workshop, which will take me a few minutes to warm up and use if we needed to. Incredible. There we go, that's one out. Incredible. Thank you very much, Melanino. Thank you so much for the follow there. And then we've got this one to just pop out as well. And again, we're just putting pressure onto the switch, pulling it through from the bottom, and just heating that pin up. And there we go. That's the second switch out. Get two more switches that don't have bent pins, and then we can carry on with the soldering. If I had to pick a favourite, JO1 or JO2, it depends on what I'm doing. JO1 for anything production-wise, JO2 for gaming mainly. That's probably how I break it down. Where does this one want to go in? Right, now we can heat up the other side, and this should push straight through, just like so. And then we can go back and solder that switch in just a minute. Let's pop the other switch in, which I think was from here. And again, we're just going to heat up the pin position, pop it through, and then we can solder these switches in place. Okay, and then here as well. Okay, let's just check for any more bent pins before we carry on. I had the same issue having to double back and reflow the solder to push the pins in on my Odin. Soldering took more than twice the time as normal. Would have left the foam out, but after the more muted tone as it's my wet board. That's fair. Right, I'm just going to check every single switch now, instead of checking every other one. Okay, looking good. Right, I found one more bent pin. Okay. Looking good there. There. Okay, let's get this bent pin out and then we'll do the rest. This one. I think I spotted another couple of bent pins. Yeah, I've got another one here. This is why I don't like pushing stuff through PE foam. I just feel like it's easier to bend pins and things. Okay, I think we're good now. Oh no, wait, we've got one more. There we go. Okay, I think we're good now. Yeah, okay, so let's get those pins replaced. And most keyboards manufactured in China. It really depends on the keyboard, the designer, their manufacturing partners. I know of boards that have been manufactured all over the world, so I know some manufacturers are based in Europe, some are based in China, some are based in the US. It really depends on the manufacturer. Right, okay, so now we're back to soldering. Again, you can keep asking your questions, guys, anything at all. Doesn't have to be keyboard related, it can be any topic at all. I'm just going to go through, solder one pin on each switch, do the pressure trick, and then we'll carry on soldering from there. This is going to take a little bit longer than normal, but that's fine. There are quite a lot in China, but I don't think I can call that most. Yeah, I mean, there's they're manufactured all over the place. So the PE foam is keeping the switches from, when you push the switch fully into the plate in the PCB assembly, it's lifting the switch away from the PCB. So what we're doing is we're soldering one pin on each switch first. Then we're going back, reheating that pin as we push the switch into the PCB, and that's just meaning we get a cleaner contact point. And then we'll go back and solder the second pin, and the switch is fully inserted into the PCB. So there we go. So now we've soldered each one. We've done one pin on each. We're just going to come back. We're just going to hold the switch in place, reheat the pin, keep the switch until it sinks further into the PCB and the plate assembly, hold the switch until the solder cools, and then we can move on to the next one. We're just going to do that all the way down the PCB. And it just means that we can get the PCB and plate fully aligned, and we don't have to worry that it's out of alignment anywhere. We have to put a lot of pressure on here. Get this right. Okay, I think that's okay for this one. We can go ahead and do the rest of the pins on this row. So yeah, so we're just using that little trick just to help the pressure, just to make sure everything's correct, because otherwise the foam is just pushing the switches and plate apart from each other a little bit too much, and it means that whilst the switches are seated in the plate, they're not necessarily seated in the PCB. We're just using a little bit of pressure and a heated pin just to align that and to hold it in place. It basically acts as like a pin to just keep everything aligned and neat. Okay. Almost through here on this row. Then we'll move on to the next row in just a moment. There we go. I just finished soldering after lubing the switches for the very first time. I had to get my girlfriend to press down into the PCB switches because I had no idea how to use it a lot. I use Kester solder, so this is Kester brand, Kester, and I've used it for maybe the past 10 years. It's very, very good solder. It is leaded, which is fine. Okay. So I'm actually tempted to take these switches out of this middle row and just reseat them in, because this is where most of the switches that I'm unhappy with are. So I'm just going to take these switches out. The edge one was okay, but I'm just going to take these switches out and reseat them. It would help if I didn't keep throwing the switches on the floor. I'm just going to take these switches out, the next row as well, just to hope that we can get them just in a little bit neater and tidier. Maybe we'll solder them a switch at a time actually. It might be a little bit better. And I think it's just because of a combination of having the foam in place. Whoops. Plus the PE foam on the PCB as well. I just want this to be as neat and tidy as we can get it. I think the TKL function's right, so let's just take these out as well. And we're just going to go a switch at a time, I think. And we'll put a switch in, we'll get it in nicely, then we'll solder it, and then we'll move on to the next one. Take a little bit longer to build, but I'd rather it be right for the customer than not. Okay, let's solder up the rest of the switches that are still remaining in the board. Whoops. And then from there we'll, because this TKL cluster up here in the top corner, this is fine, and the modify keys on the left are fine as well. So let's just solder these in place. There we go. Okay. We've just got two modifier pins down here too. These are all in place nicely as well.
Incredible.
Thank you so much, Jin, for the follow. That is incredible. There we go. Right, now let's put the switches back in, and as we put the switches in, we're going to solder each one in turn. I'm just going to make sure that the foam's not affecting anything too much here. That's better. That's much neater. So, just go one switch at a time here until we're confident that they're all going in much easier, and then we'll take it from there. What 6% keyboard should I get? My budget's $150. Man, I have no idea. Like, there's so many good budget keyboards out there right now. Like, there's no right or wrong answer to that. Okay, that's going in nicely. Just
incredible.
Thank you so much, Captain Ash, for the follow. That is incredible. Okay, just going to check each one as we put it in this time. Just make sure the foam's tucked nice and neatly out of the way. Make sure it's in the correct position, and then put the switches in. This is going much better now. Much better. Just gotta take a little bit of care and time sometimes, guys. just to make sure everything's as best you can do it, especially when people are paying for builds. There's no use in rushing. Okay. This is going together much nicer this time. I think it just needed maybe a double bit of pressure on the PE foam to puncture it correctly. I'm much more happy with how this is settling together now. Are the colours for the Argyle confirmed? Yeah, I don't like using clamps because I see how it. I've seen people damage things, and yeah, I don't like using clamps. I don't know, just personal preference. But there's nothing wrong with that method. The colours for the Argyle are pretty much set. Yeah, nothing I can release here. Details at the minute. This is a standard Emmy. We will be building an SE version on stream soon, which is my personal board, and we unbox that towards the beginning of the build stream. So you can go back and you can take a look at that. Okay, these are all going in way better this time. Yes, this is looking much better. Yeah, I do have a couple of the MEs to build personally. I have 2 ME boards I'm going to build personally. That'll be part of my personal collection, which I'm pretty excited about. Okay, alright, let's see if we can get this row in nicely, and then we can go back and solder. It does feel like everything has gone back together just a little bit nicer this time around, which is good. Okay. Much happier with this now. Okay. Okay, perfect. Right. Now we'll just solder the rest of the board, and then we're done. I'm very excited for the Matrix 3.0. I don't use any supports, NS, but the stem holder isn't the standard one that you can get off of Thingiverse. It's actually my own custom design. I've changed it a little bit so it's a little bit more rigid. The stems are a little bit shorter, and the crossover is a little bit stronger. Okay, this is going back together much better this time. Once we've soldered it, we will do the test in vial to make sure that everything's working correctly. I'm pretty sure this is vial compatible. If not, we'll use switch header. And then we can fix any issues with any keys. And then we can install the bottom plate foam. And then we can put the gaskets in place. And then we can screw the gaskets in using the unique mounting system on this board. And then we can put the board together finally. And then we can put some keycaps on it. So a fair bit still to do. And don't forget, guys, you guys will be able to choose what keycaps we pop on this board for the customer, just to take a look at how it looks and feels. What are my thoughts on the Matrix 3.0? I'm very, very excited for it. I'm a huge fan of Matrix keyboards. I like Albert. We speak together quite a bit. I'm a huge fan of. I have like most of the boards from recent years. I have Betas, Falcons, Emmys, IM Pluses, Mr. Hats, Abels, OG 1.2 OG. You know, I have so many of the Matrix keyboards in my collection, and I think they're some of my favourite boards ever made. Okay. By the way, I got a solid quote for 250 US dollars if I get 100 of the full steel ones anodized black. So steel doesn't anodize like aluminium does. Steel oxidizes. So I'm not quite sure what finish they meant, but you can't really anodize steel. There's other finishes that are available for steel, but it's not a true anodization. And just be wary of the manufacturers you're using. And don't forget, there's not just the cost of the case, there's also the cost of shipping the boards to you, insurances, taxes, import fees, duties, packaging, PCBs, hardware, custom O-rings, bump-ons, you know, all sorts of different stuff you have to consider. There's not just the cost of the board. And if you're going to run a group buy, make sure you've got enough money to cover the group buy and basically subsidize it if it goes wrong. You know, you need to be able to underwrite that whole amount. So if you run the group buy and it goes wrong and it costs $50,000, well, you've got $50,000 you need to find for the customers. You're going to need to find that money, right? So yeah, you just have to be careful on that side. Okay, so I think we've solved all of the switches. It's time to test them, see if they've got any that don't work. To do that, we need to do a few things. We need to unplug the solder iron so we don't burn ourselves. And then we need to get the JST cables and daughter boards together, and then we can plug it in. Should I get a K61? It's not bad. It's alright. It's fine as a keyboard. It's absolutely fine. Okay, we don't need to screw anything in here. We just need to connect it all together. That's the power from the USB one. Standard JST cables here, and this is USB-C as well. I'm just going to plug the JST connector into there. Then we're going to plug it into here, and then we're going to use a USB-C connector to plug the keyboard in. Martian view mat? Yeah, we've got them in stock right now if you want one. Let's see if this works. Let's load up Vial and see if this keyboard works. Okay, so it's there. Let me share Vial with you, and you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. So I haven't used Vial for a while. I just want to test the matrix, make sure everything's working. Then I'm just going to go through, press each of the keys, make sure everything lights up. As long as it does, we're Gucci. If we have any issues, we'll remove the switch, we'll resolder it in and see if that fixes it, and if not, we'll reflow diodes, and if that doesn't work, we'll check it in software. Okay, so we've got one switch not working. Or two switches not working. Okay, interesting. Okay, everything else is working so far. Okay, so we've got two switches that don't work. We've got the two gaps on the wing keyless row for the Windows keys. That's not on this board. So now we need to remove this key and this key, and see why they don't work. So let's take a look at that. Okay, this first one I'm just going to reflow. I think that should fix it. Let's try that. In-stock starter kit keyboard for prototyping. Yeah, we are working on something like that. It's not exactly like that, but yeah, we have some ideas. Given how this has kind of forced the PCB and the plate apart, I would be worried that it wouldn't... oh, okay, so it looks like we missed a bent pin here. Okay, so let's remove this switch. Yeah, so we missed a bent pin. Nice. How did we solder that? How did we miss that we bent a pin when we soldered it? I don't know. Yeah, I'd be worried about mil-maxing it, if I'm honest, unless you're going to build it without the foams in place. If you're going to go without the foams, I think you'll be just fine and dandy. If you're going to go with the foams, I think I'd be a little bit more worried about it. Wait, did we bend the pin again? I'm slightly worried that we bent that pin again. Let's test that and see if it works. Where's file? There it is. Let's test that. Okay, now it's not detecting anything. Let's just try that again. Okay. Wait, now this switch isn't working? Wait, what? Wait, what? Okay. I don't know what was happening there, but that's now working. I don't think it's particularly complicated. It's just slightly frustrating. Okay, so now I think we've just got this. Yeah, okay, so now we've just got this key to fix. So let's disconnect again and take that key out. Seals are solid board. I don't dislike those. Place the switch with one that's not bent in. We're just going to heat up the tabs here to push these pins back in. There we go. Now we'll test that, see if that works. Right, just take the whole board now. Just make sure everything is coming up as working. Okay, so let's switch again. Oh, it works. So we've got a debounce issue on one switch. The Z switch just has been an issue, so I'll have a look at that in a second as well. Okay, all working on that row now. Caps lock's working. Okay. Oh, I know why that's not working. There we go. It was touching the solder wire. So we don't have an issue there. There we go. That's good. Perfect. All working perfectly now. Right, now we can take this back off and we can start to put the rest of the board together. Was it shorting on the switch puller? No, the switch puller won't short it out. It was shorting on the solder wire. There's like a little thin bit of solder wire that was running just underneath the keyboard. I thought I'd rolled it away, but I hadn't. There we go. Cool. Okay, we can get rid of a vial now. We know that that all works. And now it's time to install the under PCB foam. This is this foam here, and it's going to sit pretty much just like that on the base of the PCB. We're just going to peel this off, and I think it's designed to be sticky. Let's check. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of go slowly and just line this up with the PCB. And then we're just going to slowly peel this back. And as we peel it back, we're just going to make sure we're keeping it all nice and flush. And there we go, you can see that's nicely installed. We'll just try and get rid of some of these air bubbles underneath. So we're just going to keep running our fingers just over it, just until it dissipates nicely and it's all nice and adhesive down. There we go. All nice and neatly installed there. Still with access to our JST headers, which is good. So this one's for our side LEDs, this one's for the USB, and this one's for the front LEDs. Now it's time to take a look at how we plug all of this together in the case. So let's get these switches out of the way. Bring the case back. And now let's take this apart. I don't think it'd rip off diodes. It's not super adhesive. Something like this size? Nope, one size larger. There we go. You can take that foam off if you need to desolder a switch, yes. You could also just X-Acto knife around the area, remove the switch that you needed to, save the bit that you cut out, and then just use a dab of PVA glue to stick it back in place afterwards. That looks oddly comfortable. It wasn't really comfortable, it was quite sharp to press on the other side. I don't think it'd rip off diodes though. Longer screws for the back, that's good. A foam sandwich, 100%. Okay. Now the top case and the bottom case should come apart. Let's take a look at the top case. Nice machine from the outside. Inside it's kind of complex. It's got a serial number, that's good. Lots and lots of screw holes and threaded parts on here, and that's mainly because of how the gaskets fit together and hold in place. So we'll show you that shortly. But we're going to put the gaskets on the plate assembly. So there we go. It's pretty cool. Put that to one side. On the inside, things are pretty simple. We do have to fit the badge. Now, I don't believe that these are magnetic. I believe that these have to be screwed in place. Perhaps it's... Oh, it is magnetic. Oh, that's pretty cool. Look at that. Magnetic badge. That's pretty unique. The last ones had to screw in. That's really super cool. I like that a lot. Nice. Look at that. Just go straight in. Perfect. Okay, so then for the inside here, the first thing we have to do is install this. Now this does have some screws. This is basically a piece of rubber, injection molded rubber material, but it does need to be screwed in place. So that's where it sits. Now we just need to find the screws for it, which are here. Yeah, the screws themselves are magnetic. Yeah, a lot of the other matrix boards I have that I've built so far, you have to screw them in. So it's kind of cool. These screws take this screwdriver. I'm just gonna. I think this is for these. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, there we go. I'm just gonna screw the foam in nicely. Well, I say foam. It's, as I say, it's injection molded silicone, but it's pretty cool. It does have a lot of dampening materials, yeah. Matrix kind of go all out with their boards, and they give you a lot of stuff, and then you can like customize your board and how you want it based on the stuff that they give you. Okay, there we go. That's all installed. Same serial number. Got to make sure you got matching serial numbers, right? The next thing we need to do is install the daughterboard header, which sits just there. We should have 2 screws for it in here. Let's take a look. Now, which screws does this take? I feel like it might be these little black ones. Let's have a look. Let's try the screw in the hole first. Fits. So I'm going to pop the screw into the daughterboard first, and then we're just going to screw the one side of the daughterboard just in lightly. We're not going to screw it the whole way. Just get the threads to engage. I'm going to take the second screw, pop it in the second side, and then we're going to make sure that the daughterboard is nice and neatly aligned to where it needs to be, and then we're going to screw that one down fully. Then we'll go back to the first one and screw that down fully. And there we go. That's the daughterboard installed. Okay, time to install the gaskets on the plate. Now there's quite a lot of gaskets to install here. So this is going to take a little bit of time. Let's zoom in a little bit so you can see how we do this. So these are the gaskets, and basically we have one on the top and bottom of each of these chevrons. Well, we'll see how the board sounds once the build's done. But it should be okay. This is far from the first board that Matrix have done, so I'm pretty sure they had a plan when they created the board. And of course, if you don't like these builds, you can always customize how the board sounds by changing the foams that you have in the board. Like, you could quite easily take off the tape mod PE sheet off the back. You could remove the internal silicone dampener. There's lots of things you can do to tweak the sound. Not quite happy with how that one was set. There we go. Yes, the plate group buy was scheduled to happen towards back end of January. We're actually going to launch it on Monday coming, but the fact that the mezzanine comes this week means that the plate group buy is slightly delayed. That will be for carbon fiber and POM. I mean, POM is there as a service anyway, so you can have a POM plate cut at any time, but we'll allow you to double up and have the POM plates and carbon fiber plates all made at the same time as well. So yeah, it should be soon. We won't be offering a plate customization service this time, but James AKB will offer that service, I believe, individually. So you'll be able to go to James and get all of your plate file designs made that you need, and then we'll be able to get them cut for you. Okay. It's going to sound like a keyboard. Yeah, I mean, it is. What sort of keyboard? We'll see. James is UK based, yeah. He runs Alchemist Keyboards here in the UK. Now, I could do the plate file edits if I had to, but I just don't have the time to get them done these days. And whilst we've extended our staff from just being me to being, well, 4 people, 2 remote, 2 in the workshop, over the past few months, it's still difficult to get everything done that we need to. We now have Sharon, who does the bookwork, and we have 2 other people who aren't really involved in keyboards, so their names probably won't mean anything to anyone, that work remotely part-time, doing project management and design. So there we go. Okay, I'm going to flip this over now and install the ones on the bottom. Yeah, James is based in the UK. He's about 2 hours drive from me. Maybe not quite that much. Maybe 90 minutes drive from me. Okay. There is a lot of gaskets to install here. I'm not quite sure I appreciate the sheer number of gaskets to install, but hey ho. It's a design decision for sure. Have I got an RB26 ready for the Datsun yet? No, I don't know which Datsun you mean, because I have like 7 or 8 now. But no, I don't have an RB26. I'm not a fan of engine swaps in cars. I'm too much of a purist. Maybe one day, but like I don't feel the need to engine swap any of my current cars. Yeah, James got a load of 6U spacebars a while back. So I have a 510 truck, or also known as a 521. I also have a 620 truck, a Nissan P130, a Nissan H3330, a Datsun 2400, and a Datsun 240Z, as well as some other cars. The Kenmiri Skyline. So there is a guy that's trying to sell me one here in the UK. He's messaged me a few times saying it's for sale. I really can't afford it. Like, that's the thing. Like, it's like I'd have to sell at least 3 of my other cars, and I'm not sure that's a sacrifice I'm currently willing to make. As much as I've always wanted a Kenmiri Skyline, I don't want to sell all the others for it. Like, that's just it's probably just a step too far for me. But like, if he can get to the price to a point I'm happy with, then I mean, I think he's looking for somewhere north of 100k right now. So like, yeah, it's big money. So it's like 130,000 US dollars, something like that in GBP. So yeah, it's a little bit more than I'd like to spend right now, but we'll see. Yeah, they're insanely rare, but I've always wanted one. I will one day own one. I know I will. Like it will happen at some point. It's just a case of which car and when, which particular motor and when. Okay, so now we've installed the gaskets, we can install the plate and PCB assembly into the top case. Now this one doesn't have the front badge, so we don't need to worry about the wire for the front badge because this one doesn't have that. But it should now nicely slot in just here. And we're just going to check the alignment by flipping that over. That all looks good. Wing keyless spaces look like they're in the right spots. Everything looks like it's aligned correctly. Okay, now what we can do is we can install these. And these are pretty cool. In fact, we're going to have to spin this around and do it. I say they're pretty cool. I'm dropping that one. So now what we're going to do is we're going to install this gasket holder, and then we're going to do the one directly opposite. And we're just going to barely lightly screw these in for now, because whilst we will screw them fully in, I just want to make sure that the plate and everything's aligned correctly before we tighten these down. So that's one in place. Then we're going to just spin this round and do the same on this front edge. There's a lot to these boards. And we're just basically starting to compress the foam here. Sunflowers, yeah, sunflowers. Good switches. Never seen an R34 in person. We have quite a few R34s over here. They're not too rare. Okay. So now those are in place, I'm going to do the two side ones. And then once we've done the two side ones, we can start to make sure that everything's lined up correctly. And then we can tighten these down. Oh, Mark IV Super, nice. I've driven a couple of Mark IV Supers, but I've never owned one. But I have driven a couple. I had one on a track day. We leased it for a track day a couple of years ago, probably 2016, something like that. But yeah, I think I've owned over 50 cars now in my life. And it doesn't seem to be stopping. We have more than 10 now, but yeah, I do love cars. Anything car, and I'm interested in it like instantly. If it's got an engine, if it's got a motor, colour me interested. So I'm not screwing these in tightly, I'm just holding these in place basically until we've got all of the ones in the board, and then once these are all in the board, then we'll start to align everything and then we'll start to screw it down tightly. I think the fastest car I've ever owned is the Tesla by far. Like it's just nuts quick. But yeah, I've owned some interesting cars. Would it by appeal? Personally, no. I think they're fun, but I wouldn't want one. There's no appeal to there's no appeal to appeal for me. Like they're fun cars, but it's just not something I'd be interested in. Same as like the Izettas and things like that. I'd never be interested in that either. It's just not something for me. I'm more into JDM cars. Anything JDM is more my speed. I'd kind of like to buy another Impreza at some point. I used to have one a while back. Yeah, I just have a Model 3, which is more of my daily driver than anything else. And it's good. It's a solid car. Like, I'm really impressed with it. Okay, so we're pretty much there on installing the gasket retainers, which is what I'm going to call these. And we're just going to check for alignment, make sure everything looks like it's centered and even, which it looks pretty solid there. So I'm just looking to make sure the switches are going to have the right amount of clearance around them, which they look to. So now I'm going to tighten all of these down. I'm going to go diametrically opposed to do that. We're just screwing these in nice and tight now. Not overly tight, we're just holding them in place. They're only going to go into a certain depth anyway. Yeah, there. The reason we're going in diagonal patterns, diametrically opposed, is just to make sure we're spreading the load evenly. We don't want to be having uneven load spread across these gaskets.
Incredible.
Thank you, Adista, for the follow. That is incredible. Thank you so much, man. And we go. That is all now nicely installed. Now it's time to put the case together. And to do that, what we need to do first of all is to connect the JST headers. So we're just going to pop that in place, just like so. Then we're going to fold over the case. We're going to make sure that the cable sits nice and neatly inside the board. That's all going to clip together nicely. We're going to flip the board over, and then we're going to pop the screws back in. Now again, we're going to pop the screw lightly in this front corner. We're just going to do it finger tight, so there's still some movement in the board. And then we're going to put one in this rear corner and do the same, just so it's lightly finger tight. And then what we can do is we can make sure the board's fully lined up. All of the seams are nice, matching, everything's looking good. Then we can tighten those two screws down, and then we can pop in the rest. Hey Dist, thank you very much for being here. An AE86, I would love one of those. They are cool. I probably wouldn't pay the prices they go for, but yeah, I would consider buying one. Would you get a back mono? Probably not. Or a BAC mono? No, probably not. It's not my kind of thing. Like, I really like vintage JDM cars. That's my kind of speed. Doesn't have to go fast. I just like it to be vintage and JDM. That's what I like. Okay, there we go. That's the board now all screwed together, put together. And now it's time for you guys to pick some keycaps. So we do need to pick some keycaps for the board. We do have a few keycap sets that you could pick from. Let's zoom out just a touch. There we go. So we do have a few keycap sets that you guys can pick from. And we'll see what you guys want to vote for. So we'll do a poll. And then whatever you guys vote for in terms of switches, in terms of keycaps, that's what we'll put on the board. So, get ready for the poll, guys, because there's a lot beige. Well, there is a beige option here, so I know what you're going to vote for already. So let me get the poll up. Let me start a poll. Okay, new poll. Help if we don't have caps with them. So, the first option is GMK Deep Space. That's the first option. And I'll say there'll be a poll for this in a second, guys. I could type today, it would help. What the fuck is that? Right, there we go. The second option is GMK Metropolis from Keycaps. Might as well, right? There we go. The third option, here's the one for you, Huey. GMK Retro Arabic. A very underrated key set in my opinion. The next option, number 4, is GMK Shoko. I'll have extras of this in stock next week, by the way, guys. GMK Shoko round 2, extras in stock very soon. There we go, there's the shill for today. And then the final option for today is GMK Taro. So you're going to have a vote in a second, guys. You'll be able to vote. While I take a quick toilet break. We're going to run that for 5 minutes. You can have bits and proto points to vote, so feel free to have a go at that. And there we go. There you go. The poll is now live. Vote for what you will, guys. Vote for what you will. I will have a vote when I come back. I'll be back in about a minute. I'm just going to nip for a quick toilet break. And then we'll see what you guys have voted for when I get back. It's like a creamy white. Yeah, I can't remember the actual name of the colour, but it's like an off-white. It's not quite white, but it's not quite cream, and it has a lovely pink base. It's a really nice pink base. I'll let you pick, guys. I'll leave the keycaps just in the view on screen as well, just so that you guys can make an informed choice, and I will be back momentarily. There you go. You can see all of the keycap choices there, all 5 of them, and I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, beige is winning by a long shot. GMK Retro Arabic with 50 votes, because I'm about to vote for it, is winning significantly. We do a little bit of rigging. Huey, behave. I haven't seen a Meridian for sale for quite a while, Lippy. I might as well put the rest of these keycaps away because, let's be honest, there's no point in having them here because GMK Retro Arabic is the only one that's winning. like it's not even close. Like there's not even one within 10 points of it. Like it's hugely rigged. I'm gonna just check the vote breakdown here. Oh, I see, Huey. 2100 channel points. I see how you did it. I see how you did it. Wow. Deep Space is going to make a last second comeback. I don't think so. I don't think so, Oxy. I can't see that happening. I'm pretty sure that that's not going to happen. But feel free to prove me wrong. Jay, you made the rigging too cheap. I probably did. It was set to whatever we had it before, Omar. The rigging was set to whatever we had it before. So perhaps someone just wants to spend a load of channel points to upset Huey and put, I don't know, Taro on the board. If you've got channel points and you want to use them, now's the time to rig it for your favorite key set. Yeah, it was. He didn't vote 50 times. He voted 21 times, did Huey? So yeah, if you do want to see anything else, you can use your channel points to do it. You respect them if they did, right? Right? If someone uses like 65 channel points, 6,500 channel points to just beat you, like that'd be quite funny. Which is the least compatible set? I'd say it's Taro, right? The Taro probably is going to clash with the cream a little bit. I think that's probably the worst. Like, I think it'll be fine, but I think Taro's probably the one that's going to clash with the cream a little bit too much. But I don't think you will, Aeneas. I don't think you will. Deep Space is making a little bit of a comeback. 25 votes. Oh, here we go. Deep Space is making a comeback. Deep Space would actually look really good on this board. Like, Deep Space I would not be disappointed with. Like, the purples and the blues and the greys, that'd work quite well with this colour. It would work quite well. So I don't think either of these is a bad choice. But I don't think anything's going to beat Retro Arabic. Because there's like 10 seconds left. Oh my gosh, is it going to do it? Wait, what? Oh, GK Retro Arabic right at the last second. Wow. Right at the last second, someone just dropped something in, and Deep Space almost beat it there. Deep Space almost beat it, but it wasn't quite there. Huey was paused over that button with the extra 2, I think. I think he was just paused over that send button. So there we go. Look at that Gator, the Black Simon run. There we go. We held the line. We held the line, right? JQ couldn't click fast enough. So, it's not Deep Space. It was very close to being Deep Space, but it wasn't Deep Space. It is going to be Retro Arabic. So, you guys can tell me in chat if you want to see either of the red accent keys featured on today. I suspect not, but you might want to see those. So let's see. And I'll put the rest of the keys on the board. There. We do have a red accent enter as well. You guys can pick the accents if you would like to see those on the board. In fact, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to tip these out and then put what we don't need in it. So we need our 7U spacebar. This actually fits with beige colorways perfectly. I only had enough to add 9 to Deep Space. It got really close there, guys. It was really close. I'm very surprised that it didn't win. I was expecting it to right at the very end. It looked like it was going to make that comeback. And that's a little bit slow on returning. Ah, there we go. Fixed. I'm surprised we didn't do a revote. No, I voted for Retro Arabic anyway, so I was kind of happy that this one. Ooh, that sounds good. Fan of that noise. Yeah, right, okay, let's wait, building this ANSI, I have to remember how ANSI layout goes. Don't say it's the same as ISO. It's not the same. Yeah. I have to think. Do you have Mr. Sleeve accents instead? I do, but I don't feel like they'd work with this set, just because the Arabic legends work really nicely. I wouldn't have said badly. Retro Arabic does fit the board really well. Like it just works. Like the beige is the same. It just works really well. Change that pipe, Jay, please. Great heavens! What? What? I don't think we have the other pipe, do we? Oh, we do. Okay, okay. Omar, set up a poll. Set up a poll for whether they want mod colored or alpha colored pipe. Like. Set up a poll for that. Where did I get them? I bought 3 or 4 sets of this off of Z Frontier about 2 years ago. I actually gave a set to a friend as well, so he has my other set. So I bought 3, I kept 2. I've actually got the set here as well. Look, this is my other set of GMK Retro Arabic. That's what the set's going to look like when it's done. So there you go. We do a little more rigging. Yeah, come on, Omar, set up a poll. Set up a poll to see whether we want mod pipe or alpha pipe. Let's see what chat wants to see. Let's see what they want to see. Yeah, like, it's tough to find on the aftermarket these days. Like it is really, really tough to find. But it's such a good set. It's like one of my favorite sets of all time. I'm a huge, huge fan of this set. I wish the Arabic legends were correct, because there's some areas where they're not quite correct. But yeah, huge fan of this set. You named it normal to trick them. There are only 150 sets, unfortunately, and nearly all of them are in China. Yeah, I don't know anyone else in the UK who has it. I'm gonna say no to the red mods just straight away. We're just not gonna do them. I just think it'll ruin the look of the board. I just don't want to do that. But I'm lucky enough to own 2 sets, which I'm very, very grateful for. I had to think about where that went then for a second. $20k points, which do you want me to rig? Oh wait, hang on, wait, I think that was the wrong page down. We'll fix that in a second. It's the wrong page up as well. How did we get the profile so badly wrong there? Oops. That's right. I wonder if someone else could read one Retro Arabic. I can't talk about it. If I'm honest, I can't tell you any more about it right now. But there are things happening in the background. Let's leave it at that. No, it was a public group buy. It's just a really old one. I think it ran in 2016, and next to no one bought it. I think like 2 people in the EU bought it. And the rest of it was just through Z Frontier. Sadly, it's not for sale, Fox Clan. It would have to be a pretty hefty offer to take this out of my my collection. Yeah, SAA would be awesome. Yeah, I would like to see that happen. But there is something I'm aware of that I don't think I can talk about that might be close to this. It's not my place to say. Wait. That key's wrong as well. Those 2 keys are wrong. There we go. Let's fix this. What did the poll say? Omar, what did the poll say? What are we picking? Alpha colored 1. Alpha colored wins. Okay. Let's change this out. I missed what the poll results were, but there we go. I think that's wrong. That's just, I don't know, that just feels wrong. I'm not an ANSI user particularly, but that just feels wrong. only thing that'd make this set better is if it had row 5. That would be, oh, that would be so good. Row 5? What we've been secretive about? I can't tell you. Give Jae an equivalent number of artisans for each keycap in the set. Just buy CRP Arabic. CRP Arabic. Yeah, I mean, CRP Arabic is really good. Okay, let me be clear. I'm not stumbling because it's not. But it's not quite right, and it's not this set. That's the trick. Like, this set just looks so good. It's just one of my favorites. Like, visually so pleasing. And it has UK ISO as well. Like, it has UK ISO, which is just even better. I think that's the right page down. Yeah. Now we just need the correct end, and the rest of the little alphas. Tilde as well, we won. Oh wait, oh yeah, you want me to change the tilde. I've already put the... I might have already put the tilde in this one. Let's see if I can find the tilde. Oh, there we go. Yeah, alright, you've won. You won, you won. I get it, you won. There you go. There you go. Where can you buy CRP from? I hear about it often. I'll have extras in stock when the next round ships. So as soon as I get those in, we'll have extras in stock on the store. There we go, guys. This board looks so good in real life. Like, look at this, guys. Just look how nice this looks. This looks so good. Cherry profile works so well on this board. Look at that. The red here works with the red on the Arabic characters. Man, I'm really sorry, Foxtown, but you are not getting this board back. If this board even sounds 10% as good as it looks, I'm just not going to send it back to you. You can bill me for it. Look at that. It's so good. This is GMK Retro Arabic. This is one of my grail sets. It took me a long time to find this, and I ended up buying 3 sets when I did find it. And I gave a set away. Yeah. GBs come every so often. Jay will have extras in the most recent. I'll have a lot of extras. We did buy a lot of extras for GMK CRP. Sorry, CRP, sorry. All is right in the universe. You said we're getting a lot of group buy orders end of Feb. Do I have an idea of what's expected? Hidari, Sagittarius, Tsukiyomi. What else? We've got some Infinity sets. A ton of Desmets. I think we've got 80,000 switches. There's a load of stuff. It's 13 tons in weight of what's coming in. That's 13.8 tons, so nearly 14 tons. It's a full container's worth. So yeah, it's exciting. It's poised to leave China any day now. And yeah, I'm pretty excited to get it all in. It's going to be a hell of a lot of work for a couple of weeks to get it through. F13 is ugly? No, leave the stream. F13 is great, but F12 on this looks so good. Like, this just looks stunning. money will be gone, and I will cry. I hear you, man. We don't have a CNC machine in-house. Nope, we have laser cutters, so we can manufacture certain types of boards. So we could do stacked acrylic boards in-house. And we do a lot of prototyping in-house, especially for plates and things. But yeah, at some point soon, maybe. Keep your eyes peeled. Yeah, so I'm guessing you guys want to hear how this one sounds now, right? Let's pause the music. And let's just see how this actually sounds with all of this foam in it. Let's see what this sounds like. Bring the mic down. Let's see. Guys, that sounds so good for what it is. Like, if you guys like that type of clack, that's like such a good sound. I don't know if it's for me, but I think you're missing some of the sound, Huey. It's quite poppy and clacky. I'm pretty happy with that. It feels fine. It doesn't feel bouncy, but it feels soft. Like there's a bit of softness to it. It's hard to tell because it's tactiles, and I don't think tactiles necessarily work too well with gasket mat boards. But that sounds so good. I'm pretty happy with that. The red symbols on the keys are Arabic Legends. This is GMK Retro Arabic, a set that ran 4 or 5 years ago now. Sounds like any other board that's filled with foam. That doesn't necessarily make it bad. Any mod on the stabilizers? Just lubed. I mean, the inside of this, there's a little bit of foam around the switches, but the actual inside piece is injected silicone, right? It's injection molded silicone. That's not foam. And we could take that out and see how that sounds differently. I'll leave that up to the owner if they want to do that, but I'm pretty happy with how that sounds. I'm pretty happy with that. That top row sounds really good. It sounds like raindrops. It sounds really good. Pretty happy with that. I think that sounds pretty good. It looks so hot, right? Like this, and then the flash of pink on the base. Oh my god, that's to die for. Yeah, so this has got foam between the switch and the PCB, yeah. It looks so good. Well, Huey, you will see 2 of my builds on a Matrix ME at some point soon, because I have 2 different Matrix MEs of my own to build. One the SE, one just the standard Emmy, and I'm excited to build those. But this looks so good. That's the USB cutout. It looks so good, dude. Like, you need retro keycap set on here, like an OG keycap set, or hold on, I'll show you what you need. I'll show you what you need. So this is the keycap set you need to buy. Look at these keycaps. This is what you want on that board. This is OG die subs in Yugoslavian layout, but some OG die subs would so work well with this board. Incredible. Kuroken, thank you so much for the follow, man. I appreciate that. Yeah. OG dice ups. Yeah, Heine Page. Oh, you can't buy these. I was being sarcastic. No, this is a Heine TKL one. Like these keycaps, like you just can't buy them. These came on OG boards, and as far as I know, this is the only set I've seen in real life of Yugoslavian cherry dice ups. But yeah, this is a Heine TKL one. This was my daily driver for a while. I have the numpad to match it. This is the numpad that matches. There you go. But yeah, this board, this has come out so nice. This is so good. It reminds me of the Taupe boards, the Real Forces, just in the styles. Norbauer with the corners, maybe. But I'm super happy with this build. That came out so nice. Way better than I was expecting it to. And I think it sounds good. I think it sounds great. If it's not to your taste, that's fine. The hobby is all about preference. You can like what you like, and you don't have to like anything else. Oxy, just get some OG dice ups. Yeah, man, yeah. Do I still have my profit? Yeah, hold on. I'll grab that for you. Here is my profit. Again, some OG dice subs. This time, German DE dice subs. There's my profit. There you go. Only thing I'd change about this board is USB cutout. I think we can do better than that these days. But I know Max will do something cool. Hear the difference between the two boards? Sure. I mean, they're very different builds, so I wouldn't use this as a true comparison, but yeah, sure. There you go. What watch am I wearing? This is a Breitling. It's the Deus Ex Machina edition of the Breitling. It's a top time Deus Ex Machina watch. How do you use top mount? I believe so. Yes, it is top mount. Yes. Yeah, it's one of my favorite TKLs. I use it all the time. It quite often lives on my desk, but it's in rotation. The profit doesn't get used all that much because I only really use 60% for gaming, and I don't really game that much anymore. So profit doesn't get used that much, to be honest. But it is a great board. Did we already unbox the other boards? We did, yeah. But there'll be a build stream soon of Matrix boards. So I think at some point in early March, I'm just going to spend, because I'm waiting for one more Matrix board to turn up, which is my Matrix IM Plus. When that turns up and arrives, incredible. Thank you so much, Seth, for the follow. I appreciate that, man. When that arrives, I'll be doing like a 12 to 14 hour Matrix build stream where I'll just be building Matrix board after Matrix board after Matrix board. I've got a ton of unbuilt Matrix boards in my collection. Most of them are brand new. I do have two Matrix MEs, which is the same as this one. Well, not the same, but one that's the same standard Matrix ME, and that's in green. And then I have a Matrix ME SE Special Edition, which is in the dark Nebula colorway. So yeah, the Panda dial on it looks nice. Yeah, it's a cool watch. It's a cool watch. Big fan. Just do it on March the 27th. That's a Sunday. I can't do it on that day, JQ27. And not for the reason that you think it is. Yes, that's my birthday, but the reason I won't be able to stream on my birthday is because I won't be in the UK. I will be taking my first vacation in 2.5 years, and this is a vacation we've had to move 3 times due to COVID, and we will be in Mauritius for 2 weeks, so I will not be around on the 27th of March. How many boards do I have approximately? Somewhere in the region of 350-ish plus vintage boards. So I don't know an accurate number. I couldn't tell you an accurate number, but it's somewhere in that kind of region, north of 350. So yeah, third time's charm. Like, we've had to move this holiday so many times. We've actually moved location from it as well. Originally we were supposed to be going to where were we supposed to be going originally? Do you know, I can't even remember. Goa. We was originally supposed to be going to Goa in India, and then we couldn't go because of COVID, so we moved the holiday, and we moved the dates first time. So we moved the dates in Goa to another date, and then we couldn't go again because of COVID, and then we moved it to another location. I can't remember where it was. It might have been the Maldives, and then we couldn't go again because of COVID, and then we moved it now to Mauritius in... We were supposed to go on this in March 2020. That's when we were supposed to go on this holiday, March 2020. So we've just kept moving it on. And now we are definitely going to Mauritius in March 2022. So yeah, so I will not be here and able to stream on the 27th of March. It will be before then anyway, we'll do the Matrix stream. I just need to wait for the Iron Plus to ship, which should be straight after the New Year. So yeah. Yeah, touch wood. I will be going. I will be going. I need this holiday. We paid for it years ago. We just need to go. We've never done all-inclusive before. Usually we like to do our own cooking and kind of sightsee and stuff. But this time, for a change, we are going all-inclusive. Me and the wife. I will share as much of it as I can on Instagram, I'm sure. But yeah, swim up bar, all-inclusive, 5-star resort in the Maldives. It's going to be heaven. And I'm ready for that. I'm really ready for that break. Normally we do 2 or 3 holidays a year, and this is the first one in 3 years. So yeah. Anyway, that's a couple of months away. You'll see more about that on Instagram when we go. Please show the keycaps. Yeah, sure. So these are the keycaps we used today on the build. This is GMK Retro Arabic. Keycap set ran a few years ago, 2015, 2016, something like that. Only 150 sets made. And I have 2 of them. I have 2 sets of it. Yay. My favorite, I think it's my favorite GMK set, I think. So there you go. This one, this is a different board. We didn't build this today. This is my ME TKL one with OG Cherry Yugoslavian dice up keycaps. So there we go. What's the red board? The red board's a Profit. This is a Profit prototype from Cable Car Designs that I had 2018, I think I built it, something like that. Can I share more about why these GMK Arabic sets is one of your grail sets? I just love the look. I think it looks stunning. Like, one of the things that's always interested me in languages for UK English is the fact that we use Latin characters for our letters, but for our numbers we actually use Arabic numerals, which is kind of interesting. And I've always loved the flowing script of Arabic letters. I can't read Arabic, I'll be honest. I can't read it. But I just love the way it looks, and this set is just such a classic set. It looks good on anything, and I'm just a huge fan, so that's why I like it. Arabic Sub-Legends are my favorite. Can't read a word either. Yeah, I know that people like hiragana and katakana and all of that kind of stuff. I can't read those either, and I do like them, but I think if I was going to pick Sub-Legends for something for me, it would be these, because I just think it looks great. So yeah, Japanese retro caps could be really cool. Yeah, but yeah, the red board is the Profit. That's my TKL one. That's the board we built today. Incredible. Thank you. Thank you so much for the follow, man. Some Indian Punjabi Sub-Legends would be great. Yeah. I do have the Greek add-on kit for GMK. I also have the one that Zondat did. What was the one that Zondat did? Korean Beige, was it? I have Korean Beige as well, I think. Yeah. I just like beige keycaps. Or Dolce keycaps. Dolce keycaps are the other one that I do like. I really do like Dolce keycaps. Definitely getting myself some retro caps for some reason, if it didn't cross my mind originally. Well, sadly, I don't have any retro caps that fit on ANSI that I can sell you. I do have about 10 sets of OG Cherry German die subs, which are these. So these are in German, but they're all ISO, I'm afraid, with the split left shift, so they wouldn't fit on this board. But yeah, I don't have any I could sell you. But you could look at 9009, that would be great. In fact, I actually do have in stock Infinity OG, which is kind of like this, but in ANSI and ISO layouts, which looks a little bit like 9009. So you might want to take a look at that. That's a dice of PBT set though, rather than a GMK set. There's also GMK Muted would look quite good on this. It might be a little bit too grey for that, but a little bit too cold in colour. But yeah, I think that'll look quite nice as well. I think also Cafe would probably look really nice on this board. I think GMK Cafe would be a really good fit for it. Retro Runic coming at some point. Yes, that's not too far away. Yeah. My favourite is probably ASCII or originative Japanese. Yeah, I do have ASCII. I don't have OG Japanese, but I do have ASCII. That's on my Fat Boy. My it was MK86 Fat Boy, I think it was called. That keyboard. It's pretty cool. Is there a GMK Retro you can pre-order? No, not right now. Yeah, Cafe is a really cool set. I think that's going to come back for round 2. I don't have the Infinikey version, but I do have the GMK version. I have both the dark and the light version. Big fan. CRP is great as well. Yeah, CRP round 4 should be shipping to vendors pretty soon, I understand. I think it's going to start shipping out just after Chinese New Year. So I'll have extras of that in stock as well at some point soon. And we've got, I think we've got 8 in-stock PBT sets coming soon as well, which is quite cool. EPBT 9009 is in stock in a number of places. Yeah, but I'm streaming my store, right? So I've got Infinikey OG in stock right through that wall. There you go. Other keyboard vendors are available, but this is my store and this is my site. So, well, this is my stream for my site. So there you go. Let's just have a quick look on the Vesta board and see if we did get any updates. Well, we did get an update. There you go. If you guys want to tweet the Vesta board, that does go live, and it will change. I'll show you guys how this works. So you can tweet me at jprototypist. It's in the socials command. And if you tweet me, it will show up on the Vesta board. And I've just sent a message across the Vesta board, and this is what it does. It flicks around every time we have a sale on the site. Every time someone tweets me, we get a quote of the day on there, and it's just nice to have in the workshop. But you can tweet it if you want to tweet the Vesta board. Send a message to me and the guys in the workshop. You can absolutely do that. So there you go. JQ27 with the lulls. There you go. So yeah, guys, the Vesta board is back. We do have Vesta Cam now on stream, even for the non-workshop streams. So if you guys do want to see anything on the Vesta board, you can just tag me and send that over. In fact, let me check the history. Let's see if anyone did tweet the Vesta board whilst we were streaming, because sometimes people do. No, but we did have this. This is what happens. This is what comes up when this happened 8 minutes ago. This is what happens when we get a sale on the website. This is the message that's displayed. You guys might like this. New sale. An absolute legend has just bought whatever they bought, the Mammoth keyboard kit. So here you go. Yeah, that's what happened. So someone had bought one of those about 8 minutes ago. Yeah, I do need to turn it on for not just follows, but maybe subs as well. That could be quite fun. Oh, there was a lot of follows on stream today. Thank you so much, guys. Wow, still these follows. This is crazy. How did I miss all of these? Thank you so much to anyone who followed today, guys. I really appreciate it. Yeah, the Vesta boards aren't cheap, but they are super fun. They're super cool, and it's just really motivational. Like whenever we get one pop up on, like when we're in the workshop and that pops up, it's just super motivational. It's like, yes, we've got another sale. We carry on. It's pretty cool. It is pretty cool, especially when people send us messages as well. And you just tweet me. If you just tweet and tag me in the tweet, it shows on there. As long as you've not got an image attached, it will show the text. And people send messages during the day. Sometimes it's quite fun. It's quite fun. Right. Okay, guys, with that done, it is time to end the stream. If you've got any final questions, now's the time to ask. Do keep checking out with the Discord server, because we've got a couple of group buys going live this week. We'll also have a ton of stuff on Instagram, because a new mezzanine floor will be fitted into the workshop. So I'm going to share quite a lot of that on Instagram. Maybe we'll do some cool time-lapse videos as well, and I can upload those to YouTube. We'll see how that goes. We've got a load of in-stock coming. In-stock GMK Shoko, in-stock PBT sets, in-stock desk mats. Load of stuff. I think Thursday this week coming, or maybe Friday, I'm not sure yet, we'll do a happy hour where we'll just do 20% off any in-stock desk mat or switch set, and you can buy as much or as little as you want. I think we'll do that on Thursday. Probably we'll do like 2 hours of a happy hour, 20% off just any in-stock desk mats or switches, just to save Mel's legs carrying stuff up onto the new mezzanine floor. So watch out for that as well, guys. Congratulate Fox Clam for his new keyboard, because it looks stunning. Look how good this looks. This looks so good. I'm very jealous he's got it. I don't want to send it back to him, but I will. Yeah, thank you so much for being here, guys. Maybe see some pictures of this on Instagram tomorrow. If you need me, reach out. Bear in mind it's weekend. It'll be tomorrow before I reply now. But thank you so much for now. It's not my birthday. It's not my birthday until the 27th of March. This is 2 months away, dude. It's like 2 months away. But thank you so much. And I'll see you again soon, guys. But thank you very much for everything today. Thank you for all the follows, subscriptions, bits, everything else. I love you guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.